He could. It's free. See?
I mean, like, okay, it's like, I can't really give myself credit for that because Hazama players, like, 70% of the time are doing exactly that at every round start. Like, it literally is just optimal against most of the time.
It's pretty good. Against Bullet especially, who, like, does have to extend herself a little bit. She's got some really great, like, reactionary, like, anti-air options, but things can get very tricky very quickly. But Game Man, striking the first blow of the set here so far, probably going to opt for the double snap. Heavy prorations are going to end the combo there. Let's see what the Oki's looking like. Ooh! Super heavily prorated. Yeah, the DP ender there is not a guaranteed knockdown, so things can get dicey very quickly here. Hotenjin's coming out there for Systematical as well, and things are going to look real good for them. This is going to be like near 4k damage and solid Oki.
Dude, in a great air-to-air there, catching Systematical. Game Man with a lot of resources on the table as well. Active Flow going to be against that OG leader back as well. Not going to finish this off just yet, but that chase down there on the roll will absolutely do it.
I really need to see that JD. That was godlike. I'm so happy. JD's really, really good for catching rolls afterwards. You'll have to stop me because, you know, his Bullet. This is one of my mains. Like,
go ahead. Go ahead.
But,
like,
yeah, JD is good.
You beat Fenrich, right? So, be my guess.
So did Koopa Claus. So did Koopa Claus. That's what I will say. That's my way. DP coming out right now. Good stuff from Systematical, though, already getting the first blow of the second round here. You really don't want to let a character like Bullet frazzle you. Like, there are many times in which, like, you can have a very weird scramble interaction, and suddenly Bullet's in your face, like, pressing buttons like a madwoman. So, I think it's really important to, like remain poised in matchups like this. 6A's coming out. That's going to be a big burst out from a Game Man, and if I'm Systematical, I'm absolutely A-okay. Really want to make sure that Bullet's forced to use that OD gauge very, very early. You do not want to eat an OD 720. It is not very fun for, except for the one that gets the churn buttons. Nicolay coming out right there, no follow-up, but the 2D connects, and that's going to be a burst for Systematical. But I think they might just be able to close it out, even with this confirm at mid-screen. 63D, super.
Yo, no, absolutely, with the super,
yeah, you're
should be enough. But yeah, no, that was a great round there. Too Systematical, always playing outside of that range, and once we did get caught, I mean, burst against Bullet as Hazama is always pretty good, it feels like, unless you're in the corner, because you're always going to be pushed at that distance where you won't be playing at anyways.
I'd say it depends, but this matchup is especially a good one for that. Game Man getting a lot of good Nicolays. You'll see him use that every now and then because it's projectile invincible to get around the chains. Hazama does have a lot of ways to work around it. We'll see if that ends up popping in, but just keep that little tick in the back of your head as you watch it. 5D coming out, that's super big. Systematical unable to press a follow-up button in time here. That's going to be good damage, good Oki. Heat 2, it's very well party time. 2B starter. It's gonna be 4k damage, and you're back to it. Oh my god. No! It's character specific. It's character specific. Whoa, snap! Oh my god, the follow-up though! That's such a big read.
Backing up, Systematical trying to do that distance yet again, especially with Game Man. With all of that meter on the table, and Game Man is trying to chase down Systematical. And that is going to be it there. Systematical spending that burst. We do not have any more outs if we get hit one more time. Game Man trying to charge that JD there in the air, but Systematical eventually doesn't catch Game Man.
No, that's my save! No! Oh my god! Systematical barely has the lead, 35 seconds left on the clock. You could very well play 35 seconds of boring gameplay. Lead goes back to Game Man, but it's the 5D RC that ends up catching it. I don't know what it is, but people after Bullet 5D really like to try to jump out, and so the RC into low catches people all the time. Same for Flint into like RC2B. That is that's pretty common there. What a crazy scramble, dude. That was crazy.
Yeah, no, I also really just love how Game Man was able to take advantage of the fact that Systematical was being really hasty with those chains as well. Like I mentioned towards the end of that round there, Systematical at that 0 chains made it really hard to actually escape Game Man once we had our back up against the wall. And Game Man really just pushed that gas down all the way to make sure that Systematical couldn't escape. And like you said, I mean, like, taking advantage also of the fact that Systematical was getting pretty antsy on defense.
Yeah. So kind of speaking of some like antsy stuff, you know, bursting as like a real quick sort of thing. Bursting in this matchup, pretty good generally speaking for Hazama, but even so, sometimes you really do want to hang on to that OD. We haven't seen it yet, but OD, especially against command grabs, like a regular command grab in 720, really punishing and really forces her to rethink some of her offensive options. We'll see if we get there. Right now, a lot of it comes down to the neutral and getting out of some of the scramble situations, but right now we are already in the mud with a 5D to start things off with game 2.
Yeah, and that's where things get really tricky too if you go for that jump back chain, because once you start getting predictable like that, you said that Bull doesn't really have a lot of options to deal with at round start, but that is one of the options that Game Man has available.
Yeah, the big thing is that like all of those options carry some form of risk, whether it's an IB 5D or a snap or some other thing going on there. But right now, it's really good of Game Man to like opt for that roll risk. Okay, that was a very funny interaction with that 6E2A there. We're back to neutral here. System spent OD on the burst here. This is not looking great here. This should be a kill right into super off of the Nicolay engage. And that's going to be a perfect for game 2, round 1 for Game Man already.
Yeah, Systematical looking a little frazzled here as Game Man pushes on to that set point here. Let's see what this round start is going to be, if we're going to change anything up. Systematical going to play much more aggressive this time around with that jump for JA, and a perfect OD from Game Man is going to be giving us an early punish and taking Systematical to the corner pretty early as well. On the side of Systematical looks like the no meter from Game Man to continue this pressure if we get stuck into a bad button at the end of our block.
Every time I see hit JD, I see something new. I've actually genuinely never seen it whiff like that against Hazama. That's actually the first time I've seen it, and I'm so angry for Game Man. I'm happy for System, but I'm like, oh my god. What a quirky thing. I'll never forget when a local of mine was like, yeah, Bullet JD is just proto Super Dash, and my brain was forever changed. Really?
Yeah, that's pretty accurate.
Dude, it's just as janky. Like, you see just as many cursed interactions. That's a disgusting, beautiful, no good JD, Game Man. You are an evil person, and I love that. Super probably doesn't kill here, so gonna opt for the DP Oki instead. Safe jumps, eats the CA, but that's fine. Just barely gets out of the air throw here. Command grab whiffs. This is really, really difficult for System here. Gets the OD out, but it's gonna be on the 2B, and Game Man will punish that and take the set 2-0.
Yeah, I mean, shoot, in that position, normally I would say, like, Bang is a character against Hazama you gotta be taking.
Good pushing. We get the TOs that handle things accordingly, but for now, I actually don't know this round start by heart. I guess you could 5C as both characters. Or back up, that's fine too. That's pretty chill.
Yeah, I think right now, especially if Xtremesonic isn't going to be aggressive as a move, you can afford to set up those turrets to start controlling that screen space and prevent Xtremesonic for going for full screen options like Godfist, for example. Not to say that we normally go for Godfist at full screen, because that does carry a lot of risk, but, you know, that does kind of lower the amount of options that we're looking out for.
Yeah, it's just mitigating like neutral decisions and all that. You get a step early, you get to play around it, and let me tell you, some of these normals for Move 12 are the size of Kansas, so you really do get a lot of real estate to check movement here. But right now, opting for, I guess, dropping the SOCDOQ here, or SODOQ rather. Things are looking fine though. This should be a kill with the resources available. Let's see if Cam can complete this up. I don't want to curse them by accident, but he is indeed getting the job done here.
Yeah, it looks like, and unfortunately, yeah, we didn't really get to see much from Xtremesonic there. Cam just playing a picture-perfect round there, but it looks like we're going to be seeing a much closer one this time. We'll have to see, though. Cam going for that similar round start, setting up the turrets, and then zoning out Xtremesonic. Once we found a hit, now we're going to move in, get that combo, take us to the corner. I mean, Move, able to control the screen so well, great buttons, and has really good corner carry. I mean, this is just that.
Yeah, I mean, excellent. I mean, excellent set play. Arguably best in class. Super safe pressure. Swiss Army knife options. If you want it, she probably got it. You just got to deal with low health. But look, we gave the set play zoner a DP, and it sends them to full screen, and it has guard point properties. It's pretty good.
But it's small. It's small, you know. It never hits.
All right, man.
Great block on the rock, by the way.
Oh yeah, like really good.
We'll be locking into another rock. I think we're trying to predict rock in that moment as well. And look at that, just outpacing the DP from Xtremesonic.
I hate 63214B from Move 12. It just does things like I've genuinely never seen it do that, but it just does heinous things. I just look at it do things that I'm like, how could you? And then the Move 12 player just kind of looks at you like, I don't know, man. And they just go about their day.
Yeah, it's like one of those moves that, like, there's a lot of things that you don't expect it to do initially, but then when you see it, it's like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that checked out.
Nah, dog. It's that move and stuff like Izanami JB. Izanami JB is a sleeper hit though. That's just the old, not old, but that's just me complaining about things. In all seriousness, yeah, it looks like the Move 12 is working out quite well. We're seeing Cam opt for, you know, setting the steins, the turrets, as you were mentioning earlier. And one of the side benefits of setting up turrets as well is that you stall your air momentum. So in certain situations, you get to like kind of like anti-air people while you're incoming, and you know, Mu12 has that humongous J2C, that big swipe down that you'll probably see come up here and there. You're gonna see it right there again, right? You know, setting up the Stein, delay the landing, set the J2C, huge space coverage. But Xtremesonic managing to find themselves in a pretty advantageous corner position. Gonna even burst for it to put some money on the line. Indeed, anti-air ends up whiffing, so we're fine. Jesus Christ. Doing okay so far, but Cam finding another hit, and we've seen Cam make it to the bank, frankly, off of like the corner carry of like a basic neutral hit here. But Xtremesonic finding a hit, big resource spends on both ends here.
It looks like Xtremesonic now in control of this round, at least for the moment. Cam trying to escape this corner. Looks like we will be able to potentially block the win. Doesn't block the God Fist, however, no combo, but it's okay. Xtremesonic going to pick that one up. A very scrappy match. Not really a lot of combos, just a lot of small hits back and forth. A lot of resource expenditure on both sides as both those poppers.
Yeah, I got really surprised by the press after the wind spell into God Hand there, I'm not gonna lie. Not that the God Hand there was necessarily bad, but you just queued that up. Alright. Cam's been opting for a lot of the 6Bs distance. You'll see Mu12 players do that very frequently, as it's a first hit of 6B is a mid, second hit's an overhead. So they'll typically space it out, but it seems like Xtremesonic's been really on the ball there. I wonder if Cam's going to opt for the next layer and maybe do, you know, like the 6B RCTB or mix in the blow there. But for the time being, it's looking like the mix is not necessary. I'm not going to lie, Xtremesonic is looking real dead real soon, but we'll see. Bigger comebacks have happened before.
Alright, yeah, just gonna pop that super and just get out of that corner, or not, because Xtremesonic will be spending that burst to knock, spending that meter to knock Cam back into the corner, but it looks like we're just going to get right in. Yeah, no, that makes sense for me. Yeah, pretty good buttons, pretty good moves.
Let's see what comes up next. Xtremesonic opting to back up where it looks like Cam wants to set up a little bit of real estate with the turrets over there. Not that they're necessarily in land or something, but by all means, you know, really just trying to make force some decisions out of Xtremesonic here. But fairies are out, things should be pretty good. Might help with the confirm, might break it, who knows. Meteors are coming out as well. That's some big lockdown. Making a big mix-up opportunity, but just opts for the simple strike throw. And yet Cam Tex and Xtremesonic does not in the resultant interaction here.
Oh, drop the combo there. Xtremesonic try to get out. First, unfortunate. Not going to be a full combo, but we're just going to step on him. Cam getting that super in the face. Xtremesonic not out of the woods just yet. Cam still has that person. We want to spend it, and that we will. 100 meter on our side, and we just sweep the fences.
You're not going to ask her, right? You're going to get the kill, right?
No, we're not asking.
Okay.
No, okay.
Keep it simple. Keep it simple. Keep it simple.
I actually have no idea what moves Astral Input is, so I don't even know if that's something that's really hard or not.
I don't know what her Astral is.
Because I know S is like criminally easy, but like it got last time. If y'all don't remember, it was the tournament that Seb won, and Seb won the lion's share of $817 in the pot. So it was pretty wild, the amount of money we were playing for. So maybe we can get there again, maybe not. We'll have to see as this tournament progresses. And we're going to be progressing right away here with Heartwad versus Okammunist. Okammunist going to be on the Mai and Heartwad on the Bang. Two characters that are pretty evenly matched, I would say, both on the ground and in the air, which, you know, for matchups with like Bang, for example, it doesn't really feel like a lot of characters can say that, where they can properly contest Bang in the air a lot of the time.
Yeah, right now, I'm not gonna lie, Okammunist is not trying to have this matchup with either, by all means. A very dominant first round so far, but one of the big things that Bang always has in the back pocket is that overdrive. We'll see if it pops in early, but no, it's gonna be the burst instead. For Bang, that's a huge resource to spend, and if you lose the round, that's even rougher, to be honest here. Lots of meter to play with, gonna spend it on the CA here, trying to establish some neutral presence, but the JC's trading, and this is not going super well in Heartwad's favor, but we will see the side swap combo come in. Not going to be able to get much Oki here, and it's going to be the 5C after the dive RC from Okammunist to take that first round.
Yeah, and that was a little tough there. Heartwad now, without that burst any longer, won't have that available to us for the start of this round, it looks like. But, you know, Bang is pretty good. Like, Bang has a lot of snowball potential. Bang has a lot of comeback potential as well with, you know, how moves work. Especially if he doesn't use a lot of his nails in the early game. He has those nails later on to really spam on the screen, like we start to see Heartwad do with the triple nails to catch Okammunist moving around with those dive hits.
Yeah, we'll see how it ends up panning out. For the time being here, Heartwad finally getting out of the corner, checking for a burst presumably with the jump cancel there, but it's going to be yet another dive RC. Tipper hit as well, so that's going to extend the combo pretty nicely here. And anything will get it done. Oh my god!
Yeah, that's gross. That was gross.
Whoa. Dude, that was pretty gross.
Yeah, we're popping the melty mix-up, the backwards hitbox. And then getting that burst bait immediately, like, okay, Okammunist, I see you.
Don't give me nightmares of Arcwood falling buttons, dude. Every time I boot up CC for my like biannual, like I will play CC for 2 weeks, I get hit with Arcwood falling like JB or JC as like coma, and I'm like, okay, thank you, Kokonoe. I appreciate this.
Also, like every single time I see like those backward hitboxes as well, I think my favorite one, honestly, is that one now to airbuddy. I think it's JA, where like his hand is just like a big red hitbox. That was like one of my favorite ones.
Now to JA, even freaking dude, Ragna JA. That thing's dumb, but we can talk about Ragna that. Ragna JA, Izanami JB, but it's pretty good. We're seeing a lot of barrier usage here, but it doesn't look like Heartwad's able to convert it into like forcing Okammunist to like re-engage in pressure. So it really does feel like Okammunist is just getting to like press buttons endlessly until like Heartwad cracks. Speaking of which, the throw is going to end up opening him up here today, and this is probably going to be a kill with the 236D inbound here that will indeed seal the deal for the first round of game 2.
And right now, just textbook play coming out from Okammunist. And honestly, also too, like, very sparse usage of our drive normals on the side of Heartwad. You know, those normals, you know, if you time them correctly, can be very, very good at swinging certain situations back in your favor. But so far, we haven't seen Heartwad go for any of them. I feel like if we're going to use them, the moment is now to try and make this comeback.
Yeah. No burst available either, so no OD too. It's a little tough for the, I guess, the mid game, if you want to call it that, in this particular situation. But Heartwad finally landing a pretty solid hit here. This is going to look good. Looking for an opportunity off of the scramble there, but it looks like Okammunist is mostly in control, but perhaps I've spoken a little too soon here. Oh, that's such a late RC.
Yeah, and we're going to be able to get that OD as well, so we do have that available to us. Not going to pop it now. Going to be setting up that bumper for the extra mix-up. That's going to be a guard cancel coming out from Okammunist and swapping skies as well.
I love a good run under, dude.
I love a good run. Oh my I think we're just going to try and force Heartwad to spend that OD. Yeah, we're baiting something out here. And there it is, that burst coming out from Heartwad on the mix-up. Not looking good.
Danger state, so you can't barrier block this. You cannot leap into the air. Almost any other B normal or C normal will get it done. Command grab somehow connecting regardless of like these facts. RC's trying to look for more pressure here. Bears back another aerial command grab.
Woo. Looks like Heartwad will be evening up the round count. I think it's the first round of this set as well. Heartwad now bring that momentum into this next round, bring us to a game number 3, and that is going to be a good anti-air there from Heartwad, but unfortunately not able to find the follow through. Okammunist is the one that's going to be following through instead, following us to the corner as Heartwad now back up against the wall. Doesn't have a lot of options after spaying that burst early. Okammunist also going to be spaying that burst offensively there against Heartwad to keep them in the corner and going to continue to push this momentum, push this lead.
He's available. We're not going to see it here. Okammunist opting for very safe pressure. Pretty much any hit from Oka is going to end up leading into a burst from Heartwad. Let's see if it's a bait or if it's a simple return to neutral. Right now, Heartwad managing a lead decently, trying to go for a final mix-up here. Umbrella's going to hit. Super will connect as well. I actually don't know if this kills. I think so.
Yeah, I forgot to mention that. I was like, I saw the super. I was like, I know the super is not going to kill, but they always have a follow-up after that super if they have 100 meters. So, no, Heartwad was definitely okay.
Because normally you'll see a different setup for a double super off of that, right? They'll throw the web nail and a bumper, and they'll double super, web connects with you afterwards, then you use the bumper to move, and then you super again. I actually have not seen a conversion like that with a 100 meters, but makes sense.
Rebel
Yeah, no, we didn't really have to go for anything complicated there. We already did so much damage to that super that just a couple more hits would have done it. So I think that was kind of Heartwad's thinking. Now looks like Heartwad did make our wishes come true, bringing us to a game number 3. Definitely something I expected more of when Marcus said. So things were looking a little dicey, but now things are starting to make a lot more sense between these two players. Okammunist now getting sent to the corner, Heartwad going for yet another early burst. Heartwad really favoring that burst over the overdrive, looks like.
Yeah, and that is a really, again, I can't understate it. Bang OD is like so much of the character's power. The ability to click A plus B plus C plus D and say, wow, what if I mixed you for 8 seconds and also had some like insane damage? So bursting instead again truly deprives you of like a ton of like comeback potential here. The reversal super is not going to end up cutting it here, and now Okammunist is at set point.
Yeah, no, like you said, OD, such a cracked option that Bang has available to him. For those who don't know, it does grant Bang an omnidirectional dash in the air, so he kind of just teleports all over the screen. And you know, even as as the player, as the commentator, I have no idea where he's going. But usually it's that like up forward diagonal movement with the air dash. But right now, Okammunist is not really letting Heartwad go anywhere in the air, as Heartwad's health is going lower and lower. It is looking blood red, and we are not bursting, because I think right now we really need that OT for that burst finally coming out, because it was either do or die in Okammunist with such a monumental lead takes the set with a confident 2-1.
Yeah, I was, shall we say, not expecting
at any other TNS, like in top 16 or top 8, but we're seeing it right here, right now. And Celica is going to be a lot of fun here. Also rocking the basketball and Mercury name. He hasn't rocked that name in quite a long time, it looks like. But maybe he just has that as his online handle. I don't know. Either way, we're getting right into it, and DEMARCUS going to be backing up immediately, try to set up that projectile to control a little bit of that space. Celica has some pretty good air buttons. JC being very good, so we can kind of use that as well to catch LordMacoT if we're trying to go for that aerial approach.
Yeah, and in terms of like other aerial approach catchers, like Celica also, like, not for nothing, has crazy good anti-air. Like her 6B is actually ridiculously good. So we might see that come up, but right now it truly is just some like blazing offense. MacoT going for the mash on the 6A attempt there, going for a reset as well. This is going to be leading to some decent damage. Plenty of meter for a Super Ball mix if you really want to go for it, but just going to go with the simple teleport side swap over there. Damage is racking up pretty decently as well. Let's see what we get after the fact. Plenty of meter to play with. Super Ball punish here.
Yeah, rather than have to respect it here. And we block it all out here. Doesn't block the overhead. DEMARCUS going to be spending that burst, going for that dive kick as well. Speaking of, Celica does have access to 2 different dive kicks to change that aerial momentum and catch LordMacoT off guard if we're trying to anti-air DEMARCUS. But in this situation, LordMacoT is going to let the Beyblade rip there, spin to win, and take round number 1.
Indeed. Seeing some early projectiles right there. Not necessarily like strictly zoning, but really just trying to like send some putting out a little bit of presence on the screen here in general. Like you can see that it gets rid of the gadget as well, the T2B, so it's really, really important for it looks like for DEMARCUS here. But honestly, setting up the pillar here is pretty good for MacoT. DEMARCUS tends to opt for like a lot of aerial movement, and then as you mentioned earlier, threatening some of like the different dive kicks, whether that's JD or that's J2 and 4A. So I think it's very, very important to like just get that vertical screen coverage there, you know. When your character's got like a built-in jam session, you know, by all means, you're probably gonna do it. Healing super coming out, it's not really gonna be much, to be honest, especially without OD, and it looks like a quick teleport should have done the job, but it's not enough yet.
Right. Okay. Yeah, it's like, you know, it's healing up just enough because, you know, Kokonoe is one of those characters who gets you with a lot of small packet damage with those traps. So DEMARCUS was like, okay, yeah, I do not want to risk a pop the super, but it did leave us at a severe resource disadvantage against Kokonoe, and because that LordMacoT was able to just push forward without really too much worry about DEMARCUS really popping out on defense. But it looks like we're going to be popping to the Celica yet again. I wonder if we're going to be going for a similar round start. It seems like it's been going decently for us, because the idea behind that round start with DEMARCUS is that we're setting up the presence on the screen, like you said, with that projectile. And that kind of forces LordMacoT to go for some options. Like it's either block it or we jump up into the air to set up a trap. Because if we stay on the ground, we're just going to get caught. Is no really point in staying on the ground. So it kind of like forces up into the air to set up the trap. And then DeMarcus is able to follow up with something like a JC. We did see a whiff at the start of the previous round, but looks like DeMarcus is actually just going to go for a much more aggressive one here with that jump forward. And so is LordMacoT with that teleport.
I've never seen someone more happy to 2D as Celica and just immediately go for like a follow-up there. Something about the Marcus Cousins. It's an energy or something of the sort. No, it's 60. I would, you know, yeah, I think that's 60. I get them confused sometimes. It's been a while since I laughed, but I'm not gonna lie. The little hop formation.
Yeah,
there's a little hop, skip, and jump. Yeah. It's looking pretty good there already. I would say a lot better than last round. I think the big thing. Oh, and that's the tech trap as well. Calling out the delay tech there. I think the big thing here is just trying to get out of like MacoT's pressure. MacoT really opts for like very, very heavy reset style of offense. So it can be very frustrating to deal with at times. And just making sure you're mining that and getting out of there is very, very important. You saw DeMarcus maybe trying to mash to get out of it in that situation there. Either way, though, going to end up not quite going for the backfire loops in this situation, but gets decent Oki off of the 6D and really just trying to check MacoT's movement here throughout.
I think much more notably as well, DeMarcus is also playing way more aggressive compared to those previous rounds. Because in the past we've been seeing like, you know, pop that projectile, kind of wait out full screen, maybe go for a dive kick or two. But now DeMarcus is really just pushing that gas, pushing that momentum, and we're seeing it right there. LordMacoT going to be able to get out of that with that teleport, and there's going to be that super wall as well. Of course, the super wall will be able to chase you down, however, so DeMarcus not out of the clear, even going to full screen.
Salty. How many times has DeMarcus Cousins blocked in this round? On wake up. How many times?
I don't think any.
It's probably been like once. I want us to think on that and sit on that for a brief moment as Celica.
That's dead.
Oh, you're dead.
Oh
you're
my
dead.
god.
You're super dead.
Dude.
It does good damage, man. This character does good damage.
And one of the biggest strengths of like DeMarcus's Celica too is just the confidence. Like, he's an incredibly confident player, and it really just catches people off guard. I mean, one of his specialties literally is just wake up 60.
Look, I watched this brother dive kick through Kokonoe 2-2B with no fear in his heart. That's a level of not reckless. That's a level of bravery that I simply do not possess. So I will always give that to him there. And the wake up 60s, I'm not gonna lie, they're mad funny. Really, really good, especially if like you're expecting like a 2A to continue pressure. Although I believe Coco 5A catches crouchers, if I remember correctly. So I'm a little surprised at MacoT not opting for like a couple of 5As to like double check that on meaties. Especially because Kokonoe has such good like set play and Oki options right there. Again, you know, we're seeing another 60 off of an interaction. Not going to opt for the full backfire loops again. Probably just opting for a little bit of corner carry on this situation. Keeps the enhanced state, so that's one enhanced special on deck for Celica here. Probably going to spend on the overhead. Looking good there. JC again, you mentioned it way in the beginning of this set, and you see how much aerial control it commands.
Oh yeah, absolutely. DeMarcus off to a fire start here against LordMacoT. All gas once again, just not letting LordMacoT have that space. I think after those first couple of rounds of just like backing up and giving LordMacoT space to breathe, DeMarcus like, okay, enough's enough. We gotta make sure that I can't just do anything.
That's 3 dive kicks in a row through like 2-2B. I've never seen nobody do it like DeMarcus Cousins. Like, this is crazy. This is not crazy.
It is crazy. We're doing it again. Going through. That one was pretty smart though. You know, going under the Kokonoe, trying to get an anti-air dive kick RC. I mean, it just works. It just works.
What can we say? What can we truly say? Salty, what can we say?
I think especially if we don't see a trap already established on the screen as well. Like if you see the Kokonoe trying to set up Graviton, or you know, in the middle of setting up the shock trap, you know, having that dive kick push LordMacoT is really, really good, because like now it just puts LordMacoT in a really difficult position, because like, yes, you could probably try to set up that trap immediately. Are you going to be able to do it in time? Maybe not, right? Like especially on reaction. So you gotta do it preemptively. So that forces us to use those traps preemptively, and also it forces us to not use our traps as well, because if we're at that range and DeMarcus is able to hit you with one of those dive kicks, I mean, you saw right there earlier, the dive kick RC just does the job.
Wiggle OD here. You don't wiggle OD, right? Nah, you don't wiggle. So much health to heal. If he gets OD heal, he's gonna get literally all of that back. It's kind of bonkers. I don't know if he's gonna opt for. He's doing heal super. And that's all back. All right, let's do that again.
LordMacoT right now was just playing very passive. Like there was nothing that DEMARCUS was scared of in that moment.
Oh my god, purple throne? No. You have no respect. Unfortunately, you've fallen as well. Really good close, honestly. I felt so anxious because I was there. A lot of, much like many other Arakune matchups, a lot of it kind of lives and dies on neutral here. We'll see what options Seb has here in terms of countering the Arakune movement here and stifling and preventing curse mix-ups from even happening in the first place.
So, like you said, we do have that JC, and you mentioned that it is rather easy to cross under. Arakune, definitely much more blessed compared to other characters because of his very awkward hurt boxes, making it so that a lot of the interactions are going to be very weird of actually trying to land a hit on the Bug Menace himself. But it looks like, speaking of the bugs, we do get that curse right there. Didn't get it through a combo, just got it through hard work, or so the Arakune players like to tell you, as they're going to be taking a while to Seb to the corner here, as we are just going to be able to set up Curse yet again, or just take the KO immediately.
Honestly, given the fact that Curse ran out there, that's pretty solid conversion, keeping a real simple, immediate super here as well. I think that's very good, keeping it burst safe, keep it simple, and yeah, you don't gotta worry too much about it. Let's see what comes up next here. Again, so many decision making, so much of the decision making has to come from Seb here in order to just make some necessary adjustments. It ain't easy by any means here, especially if we get a lot of the, especially if we get a good curse cloud here. If we get the one that tracks Noel, things get very dicey very quickly.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So far, though, those clowns have been putting in a decent amount of work at limiting Seb's movement and curse time yet again. Tubazo making it look easy here, getting that curse, playing neutral so well, playing around Noel, and preventing Seb from actually pushing any sort of advantage on us. Got the tracking cloud yet again. And yeah, you can see Seb running around really wildly, and look how much curse we were able to build up by doing nothing.
Drive land. Did I drive land cancel? That was such a blinking innocent moment. I don't know if I saw JD come out or not. Either way, pretty good offense here. OD's coming out, which does mean immediate curse, but no backdash bugs in order to follow it up. So the OD surprisingly doesn't really lead to much. A really niche, surprisingly niche thing. Because Arakune OD immediately puts you in curse, you can just backdash bugs, or you can just backdash into kind of whatever you want as Arakune. Really, really strong defensive tool there. You don't see it come up super often there. Unfortunate for Tuba there regarding the OD, but a quick curse cloud, a couple of J2Ds. You might get a little curse early in the round 2 here. Jesus, that 3C is demonic.
Yeah, pushing the aggression here. The teleport to the other side, catching Seb. Oh, doesn't get the curse. Fails the last hit of the combo.
Oh my god, anything will do it. Any block, any a micro frame, any combo frame.
No, what? I was about to say, we should have had curse right there. What? We should have had curse right there.
I agree.
Tubazo, just pop it.
You
just pop it,
dude. I've never heard you this perturbed.
We're trying to do all these fancy things. Okay, there we go.
We're chilling. It's okay. We're doing all right.
No,
watch the overhead.
See,
there we go.
Would have worked. And it's Tubazo, I think the idea was play it slow until we need that curse, and then we pop it right there. And now Tubazo not able to kill here on Seb, and Seb not able to get the kill here on Tubazo as we pop that first 100-meter on the side of Tubazo.
Run out. You're in danger state. That's actually really rough. You kind of can't jump, and now you have a curse cloud that's following you, and it's 15 seconds on the clock. You're gonna put yourself in a negative penalty as well.
Right?
No. You wouldn't do that. Do the distance there. Burst there is good, but 5 seconds left. This might just be a timeout. Yo, timeout. Oh, J2C! That was so good. That was really good. That's a really good J2C. Oh my god. I didn't think it was gonna go that way.
Also, our air buttons are good, man. Noel's air buttons are good.
Bro, I need you to understand how risky that J2C is.
No, you're right.
Like, that J2C is genuinely a do or die moment. That is a hard call out of, like, I think you're going to approach me. Please get away from me and do not look at me ever again. That is what that J2C communicated. To me, anyway. I might have misinterpreted. Who knows? But,
no, you're right. I agree. But yeah, with that, Seb going to be advancing forward with one game on the board here over to Bazo.
Oh my god.
To bring us to another one.
I don't know if my
here.
heart's gonna take it, dude. I don't know.
Man, it was such a great start for Chibazo as well, but you know, that feast or famine character of Arakune, you know, can be.
He ate food. He just spilled like half of his milk. The curse mix didn't lead to much. It's unfortunate. It is. It's genuinely unfortunate. Still, we got some good offense here. Burst coming out there from Noelspup. This is looking real nice. I'm not gonna lie. This is great as Arakune. Your opponent just spent their big system resource. You're gonna get curse here, assuming you get like your B&B. All is well in the world of Arakune. This is chill vibes. Unless you're blocking. If you're blocking, God help you. But you know, hitting.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And looks like we're just going to end the combo a little bit early there, so that we can take advantage of a few more bugs.
Exactly. Using it there or ending it early in order to get like a quick hit, and then try to secure an end with super so that there is like as little interaction as possible there. Gonna swap a couple of curse clouds. There's really not much Noel can do to contest that like super jump, double jump range there. So you can see that Tuba is just like opting to go like, oh okay, well like I'm just gonna set like the best curse cloud possible here, pop curse like for free, or at least force you to move in a disadvantageous way. OD coming up here again. That's going to be the bugs this time, and you can see immediately just how big of like a table turn that is.
Yeah, Seb immediately having to respect it after looking like we were in such a good position. But, you know, OD has been spent, and OD might actually come back pretty soon here as well, because we do have that active flow. We're just going to harass Seb with these bugs from full screen. Seb doing a pretty decent job of avoiding it, but we also got the cloud on ourselves, so we want to be a little bit aggressive. Burst also, sorry, not Burst, Curse also on that tipping point yet again, like we saw in one of the previous rounds. Just a matter of time until Baza pops that, unless those bugs fly loose or not.
That's
actually may not have the opportunity. Are we going to spend bursts? Yes, we will. I mean, at this point, I feel like this is a pretty safe burst here for Seb, or for Tubazo. But Seb, if he can get in, close that space, find a single hit here, you should be able to close it. But at that distance, it's just so hard.
Where did he come from? Where did he go? How are you going to catch a Heartwad? He's teleporting all over the place. It's a rough time, bud. Especially, you know, when you're in that curse. I think that's really good on Tuba, actually, to maintain that spacing. Excuse me, in order to avoid the reversal super potential, even just like a counter assault into like some shenanigans happening. So I think that's really, really good on Tuba to just try to mitigate as much craziness as possible.
Right, and it's just such a big risk for Seb to try and chase Tubazo in the air like that as well. So just, you know, playing it as safe as possible and letting the bugs do the work to pop that last remaining bit of curse. Good play there from Tubazo as we even up the set count to a 1-1. Bring us to game number 3 here for this top 16 qualifier.
Yeah.
All right,
I don't know if we're gonna
from above.
Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna see additional craziness, but so far, honestly, just pretty good neutral by both players there. And shout out to Noelspup navigating around like some of the bell bugs as well as like Spider there. They can be very, very tricky zoning options. Fatal coming out here, but no full conversion. Gonna be safe, minus, but absolutely safe with that distance here. Tuba trying to find like either a good curse or pop like a Spider there. Not really gonna be able to get anything with some of these defensive options coming out here. And Noel's pop looking really good. This is the longest it's been, it feels like, for a curse to even be like on the table.
Yeah, no, curse is just a non-factor, it seems like right now, especially now that we're able to just close it off with a simple super, as Seb does right here. Another thing that I feel like people don't really talk about with Noel is that she's a fantastic meter dump character. She can do so much damage.
She can dump meter pretty solidly. It's really just like trying to get your big hits in as Noel due to the way her pressure works, but that's a nerd talk maybe for a YouTube video. Either way, for the time being here, it looks like Tuba's just trying to find a way to like generate curse ASAP. Noelspup pretty clearly is a lot more confident in some of the interactions in neutral right there. Super jumping alongside the Arakune, as well as trying to 6A and snipe Arakune's landing there. It does feel like Noelspup has found their rhythm here. Bugs are going to come out here with the OD, immediate curse trigger here. Things are looking pretty good. Getting active flow there, even better. More bang for your buck there. That OD regen is no joke there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, look at how much we're gaining and get the throw as well. No, Seb's just going to hold on to his burst.
Yeah, you got to hold that. You got to hold that. The comeback from a burst there is not very ideal. Like, even you 4D'd Bugs?
Hey, man, we're on the road. We're on the road.
Sometimes you have to accept your fate. I'm not gonna lie. It's not a cross tag right there with that 4D? This is not a bargaining set. This is not a bargaining set. This is a let it ride set. I'm not gonna lie. Curse Cloud's coming out once more here. And just look at it ticking just bit by bit. Even just putting Noel into block stun there, just allowing the Curse Cloud to do some of the work.
Yeah.
Shark comes out, but just no dice there. Too far for even the 6A.
It feels like this last round here is going to be really defined by how early we can get our curse. And it looks like we're not going to be getting it early at all to Bazo really put into that critical health range and being forced to use OD to push and pop that curse. But it looks like now we don't have that burst any longer.
Oh my god, he dropped!
He's trying to throw
the 60 dropped! Dive comes out. Okay, this is looking very dicey. Can't get curse on this combo. Has to reset into neutral, but the Oki should be good. Usually it's Bell Bug afterwards. Tries to teleport 4D. Reversal super comes out.
Got the super right there.
Not quite enough.
In the air.
You're going to be able to go into that. Try to check for the burst there. That's going to be damning him. That's so unfortunate. I actually can't. Okay, so let's talk about it, because that was a lot. So, the reason why Tuba stopped that confirm there was
we're going to be streaming any top 16 set. I want to watch this one, and that's exactly what we're seeing here. The mirror. I don't remember the last time I've seen Play Guy versus Betadood play, at least in a tournament setting. Maybe they played casuals, but no tournament setting. I can't remember.
I can't dive in.
Like if at all.
Yeah. This one should be a real treat here. Again, Betadood on the default color, Play Guy on the very dark Ragna color.
The edgy color. Helps us differentiate who is who, though, as there really is no question about which color is which. Play Guy responding with a DP in kind to try and escape that corner. Betadood just playing as rock solid as ever, though, playing defensive, backing up, holding that barrier, and then being able to push in. And there it is, the 2A coming through, 2A, 2B. 2C does whiff, though, so Play Guy going to respond with yet another DP to break out of that pressure sequence.
Gauntlet Hades right there, and a big expectation of Betadood blocking it there, just opting for the Gauntlet Hades into RCJC immediately. Still finds a hit on the resulting situation, throw connects here, things are looking pretty good. Now, I don't know if we're going to see an OD pop here so early, but it's looking like a pretty decent situation for it. Really, really heavy delay on the air dash right there, trying to catch Betadood's fuzzy guard timing. What a old Hell's Fang out of the corner there. I'm not going to lie, that was nuts. 2C anti-air as well, and Play Guy takes the first round of this set here.
Yeah, out of all the moves that I expected Betadood to go for, that was definitely not the one I was looking at. I was probably thinking maybe like a JC or like a run of JV, but yeah, no, Betadood going for the most aggressive play to get out of that position, but now put on the defensive yet again. There it is, JC going over the projectile, coming out from Play Guy. Betadood with that OD as well as we're trying to maximize the amount of damage and the corner carry we get as well. But back in mid-screen here, unfortunately not able to keep the Play Guy in the corner after that wall bounce.
He mashed that for 6D? That's 6D! Jesus. These guys are bold. I'm not gonna lie though, as a friend of mine once said, sometimes basketball in Blazblue, it's not about like all the technical details, it's about who's a coward or not. And let me tell you, both of these guys are fearless Bloodedge players. You're gonna see some mashes and some pretty crazy places, my word. And some air DPs, probably. It's a Bloodedge thing, don't worry about it. But for the time being here, Betadood crawling and moving forward, honestly, beyond crawling, running with this round here. DP still comes out from Play Guy, however, unbothered in his lane, thriving.
perfect tech there from Betadood as well. Blocks the DP, RC comes out, and that's just going to be an easy anti-air there from Betadood as Playguy tries to jump forward yet again to maintain that advantage. Smart play from Betadood, great reactions, bringing us to round number 3 here. Run up, yeah, there it is, going to be the throw. Playguy doesn't have that burst yet, so we're going to have to hold this corner position.
Not likely to. Playguy doesn't usually early burst in a matchups like these. I'd expect him to burst maybe on like the 3rd hit or something of the sort, but for the time being, things are relatively solid. You still have OD available. Speaking of which, Betadood's about to come up as he beats a mean 6B from afar. This is not going to lead to crazy damage, but honestly, with the way the lifesteal works for, frankly, Ragna, and guess what, Ragna, it can be a little weird.
Yeah. And of course, the Ragna player has that 50 meters, so DPRC is something you always have to play around. Betadood able to turn the tables, but without more meter, it is a little bit dicey. Playguy there in the corner, and Playguy does escape that position. Not going to spend any meter just yet. Finds the throw on Betadood, uses the OD to lock us out of that burst, and Playguy, I think, is just going to take game number 1.
Yeah, really smooth situation there. And one thing that's really interesting to note here is the ways in which Playguy is opting for throw. Ragna really doesn't have very heavy mix-ups. Like you might see like 6B come up every now and then, or certain like alternate options off of like 60, 60 JD or 60 JD with 2B. But primarily, I mean, look, Ragna's striking and throwing you. And Playguy's been opting for a lot of just like raw throws after like slight delays in situations. We haven't even seen Playguy have to opt for weird TRM setups or like timing mix-ups in order to find throw opportunities out of Betadood here. So I'm curious if Betadood's gonna just kind of key in or either throw S a little more frequently in some situations or opt to just jump out of some like throw situations instead. We'll see.
So we'll see as we get right into game number 2. Playguy representing that immediate DP there after Betadood pushes in just a little bit here. Okay, moving over to Hell Scythe, and that's going to be JC finding his connection on Betadood.
And you can see the throw opportunities from Playguy hasn't changed yet. It's just been like off of like raw situations of like opting for throw here. Once we start seeing the barrier flicker a little bit from Betadood, that can be a big tell of like a throw OS coming up here. Good block on the 6D, jump cancels off of it as well in order to maintain pressure and alternate timing here. It's just 2D at range, so not really much to go for. Barely whiffs the 6B, and Betadood is already on the ball with a powerful whiff punish here. Gonna gain so much health back with Devoured by Darkness here. Really big at turning the tides in this situation there.
For sure, and now we have the corner kick position as well. We also just catch Playguy with that backwards hitbox as well.
I've
that's
never
going to
seen
be
60 hit like
more
that.
Damage coming through.
I
mean, Ragna's blessed. How many anti-airs does this guy have? We got.
I don't see 6D anti. I don't see 6D anti. 5A, 6A, 5D if you're dead.
5D anti-air. We saw that as Slashback, I think.
Crazy things happen in Slashback, man. Crazy things.
Alright. Betadood going to be able to get around in response. DP now. You know, Playguy showed it at the start of the previous round. Betadood going to say, hey, I can do the same thing.
I mean, the big thing enabling these DPs are like so many instant blocks between both players. And to instant block through a string so consistently really means that you're dialed into your opponent's like timing on their Gatling there. Because the windows for like DPing within like a B and C normal, it's usually like 1 to 2 frames. So you really have to be so cognizant and so aware of like how your opponent's trying to pressure you to go for these IB DPs, because otherwise, you could very well just open yourself up to a random crush trigger or a throw like in situations like this, and suddenly you can just see Betadood's offense working so well for him. I mean, that's just a straight perfect suddenly.
Yeah, I like that you mentioned too, like being dialed into your opponent with those IBs. And it's like, it really just shows that Playguy is really adapting to how, Betadood is, I guess Playguy too, right? Betadood and Playguy are both adapting really well to how each other is playing, but especially Betadood right there. And I think that perfect really is really telling of how this next game might go, but we'll just have to see. Playguy looked really strong in game number 1, and Betadood likewise looked really strong in game number 2.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I still could not call it for the life of me in terms of who wins this set here. You got anything?
Yeah, it's so hard too because like, I don't know too. I want to say Betadood, but like, I don't know if that's just bias of like Betadood just being one of like the strongest Ragnas, right? But Fly Guy's also been one of the strongest Ragnas. It's probably like way more active at the game as well. But Betadood going to be getting us a round start TP. Comes out from Play Guy. Yeah, we're going to first that one. Does not want to take that much damage that early on, but Betadood's going to be getting that damage regardless. Put it in the bag, Betadood says. As now Play Guy is in that critical health range so quickly. I mean, we're hardly into this round, and Betadood has built up a monumental advantage.
It's been like 30 seconds, and suddenly we got some big hits here. CRM coming out. I wonder if Betadood ended up accidentally hitting like a throw macro on the way down or something there, or if it was intentional. So far, though, we'll see what happens. Big delay on the Gauntlet Hades results in a counter hit here, and a quick burst from Betadood. Neither player has burst nor OD available here. Ooh, that is a crazy DP, man. I don't know. Dude, these Bloodedge players, they don't care. You need to understand. There's one thing you gotta understand. You'll see the most solid stuff ever. This dude, Betadood, will fall down from getting jailed in the air and just, like, air DP. I've seen it happen too many times, dog. Something
Oh, the JV whip! Play Guy, unfortunately, not able to find the combo, though. DP? Is that enough? No, it is not! Play Guy, so confident, too. OD pop, DP whiffs! Play Guy should be able to take this round here. Holding my breath. Yeah, going to pop the Carnage Scissors right there. Play Guy now on set point, just barely though, after Betadood whipping such an important DP.
I'm telling you, man, you could never tell how these rounds are gonna go. Calm walk back from Betadood, probably just trying to suss out the situation here. Neither player really committing super heavily until the 6B ends up connecting here. Gonna be solid damage, but the big thing, frankly, is you just get some good early corner positioning. DP's coming out once more. Both players are really letting her rip at this point in time.
You definitely see it, both the players play around that DP way more when that 15-meter is available. But those wall DPs have always been so unpredictable from these players that it feels like they're constantly getting hit by it, trying to keep that momentum going.
Nah.
Tables, but no tables are getting turned here. Play Guy built up an advantage and kept the advantage after a burst gets baited. Play Guy with a
options and set play. It makes up opportunities that Relius provides. Again, trading up for a little bit of the Mai is not a bad idea. Now, one big issue that might come up is a bit of the mid-range, because Mai can struggle to deal with that, and Relius is like 5B and 2B are really good mid-range pokes, but we'll see if that ends up being relevant. For the time being here, honestly, this is a very, very fast-paced round one so far. Not super surprising for like DEMARCUS Cousins based on even how they play Celica. But dang.
Yeah, and now we just have access to a whole nother suite of offensive options. Of course, we also have that dive because it's not a DEMARCUS Cousins character without that dive. So we're probably going to be seeing a lot of that as well, and maybe we'll see a lot of risky dives like we saw in the previous set with that Celica. Right now, we don't really have to go for any risky options, though, as we just clean it up with a perfect almost immediately there on Dawn, and I love that spear toss, catching Dawn, trying to set up the puppet from full screen.
Yeah, really, really good stuff. And again, because the puppet, guard points projectiles over there, like the redirect from Mai as well as the angle on like her drive is really, really important if you want to like effectively poke at Relius from full screen there. We're seeing already Flip coming to you. Whoa, that was a. I wish I could tell you that, but it would. You'd have to put me on like 2x speed. For the time being, though, we're back to neutral here, trying to look for some opportunities. Burst down for both players. Guard break. Jesus, tipper hit with the 236B, and this is looking pretty good for damage here. Honestly, like, the next hit, as long as it's a big enough starter, most certainly kills. Might not be that. No tech on the throw either. That is quite rough, but again, didn't even need to take the damage. Still alive, though, but
okay.
You are on perch break,
Yeah, still alive, but Don could have maybe tried to stage a comeback, especially because we're almost at that 50 meter. We had that full doll gauge. But, I mean, for the entirety of that second half of that round, I mean, that resource disparity was just so obvious. DEMARCUS not letting up on Dawn, and now we're just going to go straight into game number 2, an incredibly quick game number 1, even quicker than the ones we've seen previously in this bracket. So we'll see if Dawn is able to fight back and really show what Relius can do, because we've talked about the strong options that Relius has available to him, but we've yet to actually see it in action. Yeah. So the idea with that doll, you know, controlling that airspace, preventing DEMARCUS from going for the aerial approach, like with air dash JC, going for those spear tosses willy-nilly, or going for those dives as well. Great check there with that 5A, but you always want to be careful too, because that will put you in a position where Dawn can just follow up and catch you immediately after. Lay attempt, but DEMARCUS going to follow up after that spear toss and keep this pressure on Dawn.
These characters are so interesting to these players in particular are so interesting to me because I feel that both of them adopt like a quote bully unquote play style where Dawn really wants to flex typically like very early advantages in situations, nice high low there. That's a hard to blockable. You can block it, but tell me if you can do that 3 times in a row. Jesus. Big dive into like the 5C, mind you, that ended up counter hitting as well to add like a little bit of extra damage here.
He gets the pickup, and yeah, that's going to have to be a burst there. Kills the doll. Dive kick in, doesn't connect. Oh my gosh, the extra hit stun there from the JC connecting with the doll. Made Dawn run right into it and knock him back into the corner.
Awesome nuts.
Bro, why is that button so big?
What, her 5C?
Yeah, the 5C caught that doll at such a weird angle.
Yes. I don't know. I wish I could tell you. I wish I could give you a design lecture or something. I don't know. It was big. It's annoying when you're on the other side of it. You kind of have to hold that. Big low from the stance over here. And I'm not going to lie. This is looking real fast. Can we get a timer on this? Can we get a timer on this?
Yeah, you're talking about 2 times speed for you. We need like 1.5 times speed for this one. Because DEMARCUS is really trying to speed run this round. As I say that, Dawn going to put a little bit of a hiccup here in DEMARCUS's plans, tossing him into the corner. We do have that 50 meter. If we can get a knockdown, that will be a duelist bios that we can just pop there on DEMARCUS. But DEMARCUS going to just opt to block this all out. Gets hit by the overhead though. Does not have that burst, so we can't escape this position. We don't have enough for that 50 meter though for the duelist bios. So yeah, Dawn just gonna have to go for a much more standard pressure mix-up.
In that particular situation, it's because Dawn ran out of doll gauge, so dual BIOS would have like taken it away, and the dual BIOS mix wouldn't have killed. So he would have been in a disastrous position after the fact. Might not even be able to finish a confirm, much like DEMARCUS Cousins slamming the freaking brakes on any amount of Dawn's like movement here, and immediately cleaning up for a 2-0.
Going to try to get into it, but like you said, Seb versus Icecool. Seb won last TNS. I think I mentioned that earlier on in this bracket. So Seb is that returning victor. Definitely in a much harder tournament now, though. I don't remember if Icecool was in the previous one. Probably was. He's always the one focusing on these. But we'll be seeing both these players play in top 16 instead. And I'm not too sure how this one's going to go. I mean, Icecool, just incredibly strong player, probably arguably even more consistent than Seb. But Seb just has such a huge comeback factor that's like so hard to quantify.
Yeah, Seb is one of those folks where like sometimes you just see something unique happen. You're like, huh, alrighty. But we'll see. So far, working with a decent lead. Unfortunate drop, but hey, we call those happy little resets here in America. Things are looking pretty good here as well. That's Icecool at about half health, but there's so much health to get through there, and any mistake could lead to just incredibly immense damage here. And Icecool just opting to block out this entire sequence.
Yeah, and right now, you're not really worried about too much great anti-air, by the way. You're not really worried about too much here, as said, because you're able to take control of the early portion of this round and continue to keep that momentum going in the mid game. And now Icecool is so low on health, and you know, we're going to die in this combo, but like we're so low on health, but also we just weren't able to build up any seals. Like, sure, you can build up some seals with a smart combo here and there, but like, you know, the amount of the lead that Seb was able to build is just really hard for a character like Susanoo that needs to snowball, like able to, like, it's going to be difficult for him to make that one back.
For sure, for sure. Oh my god, you 4D through that? I swear, I know that brother Icecool has that 3C loaded afterwards. I think Icecool tends to be pretty observant in terms of opponents' defensive habits. Jesus, that is a very bold, like, delay throw there. 4D doesn't connect with anything. Icecool doesn't opt really to even try to, like, 6A it. I'm not really sure of the projectile window timing on 4D, so I get it. But the anti-air ends up coming in pretty smoothly here, and this should be taking Icecool all the way to the corner.
Oh yeah, absolutely, but we just press immediately afterwards, counter hit, but unfortunately not able to convert that into a combo. If we did, that would have been such a huge lead there for Icecool. But right now, we're still looking pretty even, especially now after Noelspup finds that hit. I don't know if we're going to spend a meter in this position. Yeah, just going to hold on to that meter for this mix-up, spend it on the 50. spend it again there on the crush trigger. None opening up Icecool, but Icecool within that lethal range. One good hit is all we need. So one good hit from Icecool after this combo is all we need as well. Noelspup on the back foot here in the corner. What's our response? Barrier is crush triggered, and that will be it. Icecool going to be eating up the round count.
Dude, I always feel so bad when I'm holding barrier, and then I let go of it for a split second, and that's when someone decides to like crush trigger me. I'm like, all right, dog, like, fine, I guess, like, you got it. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, but Seb not going to let that affect their mindset here. Just letting it roll off the shoulders, off the back, and look at the speed that we built up here in Icecool, taking half of that health away from a pretty chunky character. Icecool is going to start to chunk Seb's health here with a properly timed anti-air, and we're going to be able to unlock level 2 tackle. We're going to be able to unlock that DP more importantly as well.
Big IV's coming in here. Just look at all that meter Icecool has stocked up. Like, if he's able to convert into something big, like, it should be like very, very strong here, but yeah, it's looking like that's not going to be a choice for him, at least in this game, as Noelspup, aka Seb, cleans up game 1.
Yeah, once again, it's kind of what I was talking about before, where like Icecool, you know, I feel like people generally regard as the stronger player, but Seb always just finds some way to win. Not to say that Seb is not skilled, obviously. Like, Seb, incredibly strong player, but it's like that comeback potential. And the way we just interact with other characters, like, you know, like you said, it's like we're watching Seb play and we're like, huh, like, I've never seen that before. We're like, huh, like, that's really cool, the way we play that. And I'm seeing a lot of that here from Seb. I mean, just properly spaced out anti-airs that I've been seeing a lot as well, just giving Seb so much control of his set and preventing Icecool from going for different approaches like that, and instead opting for more grounded approaches, maybe trying to pop some 6Ds to get some of those seals unlocked instead. But so far, we've yet to really see Icecool snowball in the way that he normally does.
I agree. He really hasn't had a lot of opportunities to get things started. Like, he's had solid rounds, but we haven't seen something that's been like very dominant quite yet. It looks like Icecool's trying to play like the offense relatively slowly, but a 4D comes by nonetheless. That's really bold from Seb, I'm not gonna lie. That could have very easily just been a bait from Icecool there, like just delaying the 2As, but again, sometimes you really do just have to play with very little fear in your heart. Should be a pretty great conversion here. That's going to be a C starter as well. Spring Raid, yeah, that's going to be looking like almost 4K, if not exceeding that. Yep, that's just about just over. Opting for the 2TB again, just trying to double check for any delay text here. Clipped on the 2C, surprisingly, not much barrier from Icecool there. So that's going to really enable Noel to just continue like an endless like onslaught of pressure. But it's going to be the 6B wherein Icecool chooses to mash, and let me tell you, that reward is looking pretty decent here. Sparkan's available as well as Grand Viper. Those are pretty good stat. Whoa! I'm so sorry. That was a crazy air throw.
Yeah, indeed. And now we're in a brilliant position. As I say, that super RC burst comes out from Icecool.
He's not happy.
Looking for a hit here. Seb has OD, Seb has burst. Can't find it, even with the overhead RC from Icecool. One touch away, one touch away. We don't barrier, one move.
Salté, there's 10 seconds left on the clock. Oh my god, okay.
Seb is not...
I was scared.
Seb doesn't time out.
I was so scared, dog. I was so scared.
Seb does not go for timeout. Seb just wants to finish it the old-fashioned way.
Good old-fashioned violence, I'm not gonna lie. I think some buttons on the screen are looking really good, and I can't lie, it looks like Icecool heavily agrees here. Trying to opt for a very layered throw here, but doesn't end up connecting with much. Fuzzy does, but unfortunately not there for the full confirm. I'm actually very surprised. DP's in the middle of drive pressure. I think Icecool is in the mode for very little nonsense from Noelspup.
Yeah. Like, he's had it up to here. He's got into a point.
Yeah. That was a I've had it up to here DP. That's what that says to me.
Also, like, notably, I believe it's the first time Icecool has actually used the DP as well, because, like you said, I mean, like, because Seb, or Noel, is constantly going for this drive pressure. It's always very weird trying to time that DP in those frames because of the way it can be baited out with something like 4D. So Icecool generally just tries to play it very careful, play it very safe for that DP.
Yeah, I mean, you can get true string, like, mind you, in the middle of, like, Noel's, like, drive pressure. So things can get very weird very quickly. Really, really good catch on Icecool's attempt, like, escape attempt here. He might force, oh yeah, he forces out the OD in the middle of pressure here. Ends up getting caught, presumably trying to fuzzy jump by the 6B, but no full confirm. That's really unfortunate. Optic barrel, not quite the right one there. Likely was expecting Icecool to try to approach. OD available for Noelspup here. This is very doable for both players here, and I really like the patience from Icecool, just trying to play outside the 4D range to find an opportunity, but it really doesn't feel like he's able to set himself up in a threatening zone. We talked about it earlier, right? The 4D coming up in the middle of drive strings here. That's so much meter. You gotta kill them. You gotta end them.
That's it.
You gotta get it done here. You gotta send Icecool straight to losers here. No top 8, the winner's side for Icecool here, as Noelspup confidently marches forward.
Man, what a set! I'm just like being thrown for a loop right now. I'm in the spin cycle, Toledo. Like everything that favorite, but you know, since Xcaliburbladez is kind of like that boss to beat, right? It's like kind of similar to Monarch, where it's like everyone is practicing to beat Monarch, and Monarch has shown that you know he can bleed. Xcaliburbladez has shown that he can bleed, right? So you know we could very well see Xcaliburbladez be sent down to lose right now.
You know how weird it is to imply that Play Guy is like the underdog here, or how strange it feels for that to be the case. It's pretty nuts.
Yeah, no, this dude Xcaliburbladez just like shows up and like he just like dismantles everyone, as we're seeing right here. I mean, immediately put into a sandwich between Carl and Vidal and having to take that combo. Not gonna be a lot of damage, but the thing about Carl is that it's a lot of incremental damage, right? You know, he's just constantly mixing you up and mixing you up, and it's also an inevitability of that he's going to be opening you up. Like, it's not a maybe I can block it out. Like, you are going to get opened up eventually. So patience with these players, like Play Guy, normally a very patient player, it seems like a lot of times. You know, you can't really do that against a player like Xcaliburbladez and against a character like Carl.
Yeah, Carl, like Arakune, these are characters that can really distort the way that like your burst management ends up working out here. So you run into situations where players who are normally more conservative about that are suddenly bursting very quickly, just to prevent like, you know, an unblockable sequence from happening. You know, keeping your meter like stocked up as well for whether it's a DPRC or even a counter assault RC, if you got to spend like an entire band on it, is like super important here. But right now, Play Guy in a pretty advantageous situation. We could see a dangerous defense situation come up here, so it looks like he wants to be careful about it. Ends up getting a good hit on Ada there, but the regeneration is still like quite good here. So right now, both players just jockeying for positions in neutral, but given the amount of time here, Xcal has just successfully gotten his like OD back without much threat, and Ada is frankly looking happy and healthy there.
Yeah, no, Play Guy just really respecting
8 seconds
Ada
on the clock.
right now.
5 seconds on the clock.
Xcaliburbladez. Let's see.
This is tough.
Oh my gosh, wait, who's gonna win here? Oh, okay, no, for sure, Xcaliburbladez.
Finding a hit at the last minute here. One thing about Xcal that I love to see, this dude is willing to play to time. One thing that I love for Play Guy, he's also willing to play to time. Is that awesome if you're a TO running a local? Probably not. But hey, we're online and we're chilling out here. And it's really cool to see players like opt for these like different win conditions. Like genuinely, I really love to see that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we're gonna see how.
Yeah, too, and like it's so risky too to try and approach Xcaliburbladez. Like, if you can play for time, I would just say play for time, right? Like, you know, we can try to approach, and yes, the offense is scary, but the neutral is also very scary. Especially if we saw Ada right there, like monkey in the middle, like Great Wall of China. Like, are we going? Like, can we make it over that doll? Like, we just didn't want to risk it in that instance. But right now, Play Guy has to go for a lot more risky plays here, as we are pretty low on health. Xcaliburbladez looking pretty darn healthy as well, and we just cannot let Xcaliburbladez have that room to breathe here.
Tons of meter to play with, but absolutely unable to trigger OD for the rest of the round here. No active flow available after a burst here. This is looking tough. Let's see what the conversion looks like from the OD. Not quite going to be there. DP ends up trading, surprisingly, but at the very least, Play Guy still barely alive here. Should be able to get some life still, but at this point, it's just a matter of will I be able to survive another poke or not. It's going to be very tough. But somehow, bobbing and weaving and managing to find a JC in this sequence here. This is looking very good, but Carl with 100 meter, that could very well be just a very simple counter assault into RC. It's a lot of meter expenditure over on Play Guy's side here. Let's see how he goes about his offense. It's going to be the counter assault. The ball doesn't connect, a little too far from Ada here. 12 seconds left on the clock. Both players, again, very willing to play for time. but xcal can extend by 8 seconds with a simple OD. Negative penalty is right here. Now this is very, very tough. A simple 6A. Oh, on the 6C? With 1 second on the clock, you realize that he's going to 6E and you OD there? Do you know how crazy that is, man?
Big guy. Holy moly.
They don't teach you that in the tutorials, man. They don't teach you that. That's raw skill. That's raw intuition, dude. This game is so sick, man.
What are we going to do now, Toita? What are we going to do now? We're back against the wall. We don't have burst anymore. We don't have OD anymore. We have DP. But the thing about Carl is I can just set up such a safe pressure sequence on you that he's just going to be safe even if you try to go for that DP. We saw that trade from before. DP comes out, gets baited out.
It is gone. That's actually huge.
Try and stay safe, but Xcalibur, I mean, look at that crush trigger and look at the advantage. Look at the lead. Ending the combo early.
It is not back yet. This is huge. He has to... Play has to find a way to pop OD here in this situation in order to gain like an immense amount of health back here. Wow, xcal has so many opportunities. Humongous DP once again on the CT here. Over 80 meter to work with. He has passive meter regeneration because he's under 35%. So this is very doable, and you can be a little more risky about it, but this is very tough. He has to find an opportunity to trigger the active flow here. That's a major component in order for Playguy to make this comeback. 35 seconds left on the clock. This is very tough. Again, we're just going with simple strike throw offense, but you have to remember the other thing about xcal, this dude's defense is amazing. Look at all of this. And of course, the moment I say that, it's a counter hit. He finally cracked after about 20 seconds of defense here. 20 seconds left on the clock.
You have to be scared about too is the doll, right? You know, you did create a gap between Carl and the doll, but you still got to be worried about that doll from full screen. If you choose to pop that projectile like what's up right there, forcing Playguy to respect it for the OD immediately after. He's going to keep us safe, get us out of that position. Orb comes right back in.
TA available.
Location, the swipes coming through, and xcaliburbladez takes it. I mean, what patience from xcaliburbladez, blocking so much of that sequence from before, and then find the opportune moment to escape that position after the combo that Playguy found, and then summon that doll right to our location to seal that checkmate there on Playguy.
Yeah, that was this game is so good, dude. This game is so good. This game is so good. The defensive option that led to the counter hit there, I'm not too sure, because that was throw, so I don't know if that is a big tell that Playguy is not throw-essing, even though I'm quite sure he does as a player, just generally speaking from having played him before in the past, or whether that was potentially like counter assault, but with ABC for whatever reason. I'm genuinely not sure there, but as you can tell, like, both players giving it a little bit before they actually get into the set here. As someone that, not infamously, but as someone that does that a lot, you really do want to take a quick break to reset the mental. This ain't winners finals. It's first to two. It's 2 out of 3. It's do or die. You really do have to lock in immediately.
Yeah, guys, and that was also just game one. Keep in mind, like, that was like all 3 of those rounds that we just watched literally went to sub 10 seconds.
You think that first game was about as long as the DEMARCUS Cousins Dawn set?
It was. No, I think it absolutely was. No, we have to like go back to the YouTube and YouTube VOD and time that, because I think it literally was. I think.
Whoa! He just blocked the hard to blockable. What? Blink and you miss it. Blake actually blocked that. Whoa! I don't know if that was a mistiming there from xcal, but getting out of there without spending a burst, I'm not gonna lie, that's basically getting away with highway robbery for like 90 days of community service. That's actually crazy. DPRC available, but tries to go for the command dash in order to invuln through it. Really wants to keep Playguy on his toes there. Keeping the blocks. Excellent here.
Personally, the swipes, the burst comes out from Playguy. That's exactly what we want to see as the cover plays, and we just send the overhead just like that, raw and neutral.
The reason that pisses me off is that reminds me of Monarch doing run-up 3C when people think he's just going to 5D in place and then catching an approach. To do that with 6C is evil. That's so evil. That's so evil, dude. Oh my god. These guys are so good, man. This game is awesome. I'm like, you can probably hear it. I'm grinning ear to ear again. This is an evil game, man. I love it so
god.
much.
And this ball is evil too. There's the claws catching Playguy, just immediately launching into the corner, and xcaliburbladez now just has free reign to do whatever we want, playing outside that DP range.
Oh, brother, you better mash that DP.
Safe from the pressure.
You got 50 meter now. It's time to mash a DP. It's time to mash
DRC. Yeah, we know
it.
Wrong.
Like, and that's why. And I was wrong. And I was wrong. I was wrong. I was wrong.
No, like the moment
Not
we
bad.
said that, and I was like looking at Xcaliburbladez, I was like, oh no, Xcaliburbladez knows that too. Like we are not going to let Playguy even have an opportunity to get out. We're just going to, play the strong character, especially now that we're here in top 8. Here's another matchup that I don't think I've seen in a tournament setting, so this is going to be a fun one for sure. DeMarcus Cousins versus Seb. I don't know how this is going to go. Seb, very heads-up player. Great reaction timing. And also pretty aggressive player when it calls for it as well. So I think Seb is going to be able to keep up with the speed that DeMarcus Cousins plays at a lot more consistently than some of our other players here.
That was like the meatiest 5C. I've actually just not seen it hit like that meaty ever. Big counter hit off of the 2B, and again, that puts you in just like untech, so you really get to pick up for a fantastic combo here. DeMarcus Cousins working on a perfect already. The post stance 2A, yeah, you are not getting out of there. You are stuck and locked into the corner.
Backing up, going for the dive. Oh, yeah, we just let that 5C rip. Beto counter as well. Seb going to hold on to that burst. Not the most damage, but still a good chunk there. 3,900 just like that. No meter. DeMarcus Cousins finding another hit there. And yeah, Seb just having to burst that one. We don't want to take even more damage than we have already. And DeMarcus just going to work on a perfect in the combo. So we do not have that guard cancel available. And we find that hit in neutral yet again as Seb tries to escape. And DeMarcus Cousins, I mean, I was trying to gas up Seb a little bit here. I was trying to say like Seb has a chance, but DeMarcus Cousins, double perfect. Really?
So I want to point out a small thing that was actually really, really crazy that happened in that last round there. DeMarcus opted for a charged dive. Now, typically, if a charged dive is blocked in the air, Mai is at like a pretty big disadvantage. I couldn't notice whether there was an RC there or not, but DeMarcus just opted for just a straight 5C and landed that counter hit, despite the air blocked dive there, which is crazy. Like most of the time, you are going to get counter hit for even attempting to press the issue that much more. The greed that DeMarcus Cousins has is genuinely commendable. You really do want to... There are many situations in which you expect the player to respect you, and you really do have to tell them to do the damn dishes. Like, I'm so serious. Like, there are times in which it's going to be like, okay, like, yeah, you're not doing your safe jump anymore, do your dishes. Do the safe jump again. Come on, I'm mashing. Let's do this. Speaking of counter hits.
Mashing, yeah, Seb's doing exactly that there on round start, find that counter hit, but unfortunately not able to see it all the way through. Instead, DeMarcus Cousins is going to be finding that follow through. Seb in the corner, popping that OD on defense, and will find a counter hit there on DeMarcus Cousins to turn the tables on him. Do you want to be worried about the wickup dive?
That was an OD through. That was an OD through the reversal. He's still pressed.
Of course.
If there's any lesson of mashing at disadvantage state, like you can watch like a few DeMarcus Cousins sets to start to get like the appeal of it. So you may end up looking like a quote unquote simple masher for a while.
Oh my god, the dive RC. Like, where do you think you're going? Just the stop sign.
Yo, this is
like a
gonna
brick
like throw
hitting
or something.
Oh my god, yeah, DeMarcus Cousins backing up here. Honestly, I expected DeMarcus fully to go for a dive kick immediately after we jump back off that OD. Like, I fully expected that from him. But no, actually, DeMarcus being fair reserve.
That was an immediate flip after lunge off block. Following up, 5B counter hit, immediate burst. Yo, he does not want to give Seb any quarter whatsoever.
So that was really good spacing right there, just outside of that 4D range. And I don't know if we were expecting this 4D from Seb, but I mean, we just played perfectly around that, fighting that counter hit, finding the win. DeMarcus Cousins off to another great start here. Tech from Seb though, making sure that we're not sent to the corner early yet again.
I'm not gonna let you say that, and yet let's look at the position right there, because the latitude and longitude weren't looking right there for a moment. Gets to start the drive pressure here. I'm surprised that DeMarcus got caught low. Maybe he was attempting to flip and expecting like a gap into one of Noel's overhead there, but no dice so far. Throw connects as well. It's going to be a pretty decent set of damage here. Next hit honestly kills with the amount of resources that Noelspup has available.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Gets the knockdown, roll forward. Seb, yeah, just want to check that there with the 5A. And that is going to be it. Just needs a single super to do the job. Seb, now, first round taken here of this set. Hopefully more to come here as DeMarcus still looking pretty strong. We'll see what this round start looks like, though. Seb, though, coming in with that aerial button. Going to be finding that combo, setting DeMarcus to the corner early this time instead.
Oh gosh, look at the delay 2Cs right there. Really calling out some of DeMarcus Cousins' like defensive options right there by delaying the low, catching a fuzzy jump, potentially catching like a flipped input there as well.
Okay, continuing to press, jumping up in the air. We're just going to air block that one right there with the barrier. Backing up. Ooh, nice catch there from Seb, getting that chase down, running forward, calling out DeMarcus Cousins. And now we have quite the lead. Fatal counter, no burst on the side of DeMarcus Cousins. We do have enough meter for a super at this combo. I don't think we're going to use it. I think we're just going to use it for this mix-up because double super would guarantee the kill, single super would not. So Seth playing it safe with such the lead that we have right now.
Jesus, you kept pressing? I'm so... Okay, this could very well just be DeMarcus Cousins somehow winning. Okay, never mind. I'm chilling. We're chilling. We're doing a game 3. We're doing a game 3.
Dude, that was crazy. Like, Seb was like, you know what? One of these 40s are going to catch DeMarcus eventually. That was like 3 40s in a row.
I'm not gonna lie, I was like, this could very well be the throw of all time. I would be so sad. I would genuinely be so sad not seeing a game 3 here, but we managed to get her done. Took a couple of 4Ds, but we got there. We got there.
Noel, Vermillion.
I mean, it's also just really scary too. At that point, Seb has built up so much meter that we can use counter assault, we can use the reversal super like we saw right there, or heck, just go for a random 4D. And because of that, DeMarcus has to play around all those options. We have to play a little more spaced out or play aggressive like we saw right there. And if we played aggressive like that right up on the Seb, then it provides Seb way more options to actually find that one final hit.
There it is again. There it is again. It's an air block dive, and he's still mashing 5C there. That is minus. That is actually really dangerous. I don't know if DeMarcus Cousins is flexing that due to the spacing and Noel's 5B and 5C, like speed and hitboxes, but that is incredibly greedy to do. And he has like not been punished for that. Not one bit. Okay, well, it's a dive RC. That's just close, you know. So
yeah.
Oh! Oh my god! I didn't think he was gonna do. That's such a sick route. Oh my god.
He just got it right there. DeMarcus Cousins, one more hit is all we need here. Seb knows that, backing up. Trying to press some buttons, trying to check DeMarcus. We find that check right there.
Okay.
See if there's a start of that snowball.
We gotta hope it's the party starter. There's not enough meter for a dive RC moment here, so there's a little bit of coverage that Noelspup has right there, but the drive offense not really gonna get it done. I think that was a really good RC. Tries to go for the grab there. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, and just perfectly spaced out.
God, I'm telling you, these guys are swinging fists at each other. Well, weapons, but you get the idea.
Yeah, now DeMarcus going to be here on set point. See what we can do here. Both players playing rather passive, just sticking out our big aerial buttons, trying to wall each other out. Yeah, JC yet again. Neither of these are hitting either of these players. Okay, there it is. Great forward D. Realizing that the 5A was whiffing, DeMarcus was trying to follow through with it.
There's the dive right there. Immediately calling out the run-up full property move there. Jesus. Immediate 40. These guys are trying to strike each other. Very few throws in a second. These guys really do just want to slug it out. I'm not going to lie. And I do not... I will take DeMarcus Cousins in the mud fight there 100%. Like, this very much so is like a style that DeMarcus Cousins can operate within. Even jumps over the reversal super just a style and get it done will prevent the RC actually. But my god, that was a very, very clean last game right there from Mr. Cousins before all things considered. But you really do never know. Sometimes these guys just pull out stuff and you're like, all right, let's rock.
Yeah, but notably this says like, you know, any other boss in Blue Beat, this is probably what we'll see in Grand Finals, Icecool versus Dawn. But no, we're seeing this for round 1 of Losers Top 8. So this is do or die. Whoever wins this one will be moving forward, and whoever loses will be knocked out of the tournament.
At IB so far, and again, if you really want to see the value in IB, just look at the amount of meter gain that like Icecool gets just for the small fee of blocking. Like, you really do get like so much, and Susan like benefits a lot from having.
Oh my gosh, that's your one god press of the set. You have no other god presses available. Knowing now your opponent is looking for it.
Knowing Icecool, he would go for a second one. I wouldn't.
Would he?
I feel like he would.
Because every single time that happens, like every single time Icecool chooses to go for another god press, it whiffs. Like they avoid it entirely.
I'm not saying it's gonna hit. I'm just saying it's possible. It's higher likely that a second one occurs.
You're saying you just want to kill himself with it. That's what you're saying.
Who knows? That remains to be seen. But for the time being here, big early 2C from Dawn in this situation. Oh my god, 6A OD. So this is going to be a ton of like doll gauge back. It's basically going to reset it nearly to full. Hard knockdown as well. You can go opt for the hard to blockable. Ends up keeping it very simple, maybe respecting the OD opportunity from Icecool here. Ends up getting hit regardless, spends the meter in order to get doll gauge back up. And hey, we're going to go right back to some very potent offense. Unless it's Quick Rise 2A.
Mashing out with that 2A, find the hit with the JA as well, and we're gonna confirm as well. Not the most damage, but we are getting some of those seals unlocked. Is the shock hand, so I don't think it's really going to be doing too much. It would have been much better if we got that spin or if we got the Grand Viper instead, but unfortunately we got neither, and Icecool was not able to close that distance. Round start, jump forward, air throw.
The worst part is I don't even blame him, because it's very common for Relius players to do like up back like doll summon there. I'm genuinely more shocked that Dawn had recovered in time to like even throw it.
Yeah. Just great heads up there from Dawn. Yeah, Dawn playing passive here at full screen does mean Icecool can get some cheeky seals unlocked, like that DP we're going to be seeing here. That is going to be a potent defensive tool to get us out of the pressure like we saw in that previous round, and we're going to see it right there, especially when we have that 50 meter to convert off of it. We'll be able to unlock the Blade of Judgment, the Sword. That's going to be another very useful seal to use to poke at Relius from full screen if we're trying to be setting up that doll. But I love that heads up from Dawn, you know, walking just a little bit forward and then catching Icecool in the middle of that starter animation.
You woke up dual bios? You are not a kind person. That's evil, dude. I'm actually bothered by that. What in the world? Oh my god. Oh, what? Just cleanly moving around. Maybe expecting a burst there with the ID. More than likely just not expecting the 2C to connect here. Dawn forced the OD in order to keep doll gauge up. It's nice to have the enhancements, but at this point, Icecool's navigating around like Ignis without really much trouble, so the OD doesn't get too much value here. Sword Sweeper's gonna come out, no meter to work with either. Very surprised, but hey, an Astral's an Astral by Dawn, and that's going to be a locked up Susanoo here.
Yeah, that it will be. Dawn popping off with that Astral and bringing us to game number 2. And you can also just tell too how like Icecool, like depending on the seals that Icecool has available, how his options are limited. Because in that position, we saw him use that tackle. You know, he would have loved to use Grand Viper, I think, in that instance. But, you know, we just haven't been able to unlock it in this set so far. Always just like outside of Icecool's reach. We're able to unlock the sword. We're able to unlock, you know, extra levels on the tackle, the DP. But, you know, that was one of those seals that we've yet to unlock. And it's a very useful one to have, you know, not only for getting that approach, you know, but also for damage during our combos and even for some mix-up potential as well, especially with some meter on hand. Okay, there it is. Round start JA.
Yeah, just calling out like the comment up back here. These are looking pretty solid at the moment here. Oh my gosh, I'm getting here.
Overhead.
And again, like I mentioned it a little earlier on the broadcast here, but because Dawn tends to like have this like more bully playstyle, the resource spend demands like either spending RC or spending like OD in order to get the like gauge back to like make it make sense. This is not necessarily a bad thing, but it can get a little dicey, like depending on Dawn's ability to secure it. But in situations like this, I mean, look, friend, it's a dual violence. I'm not gonna blame you if you get hit like that.
Right, it's like, you know, at that point, it's like, normally Dawn will want to consider that hitter, but Duos Bios in that position, especially with the lead you had, I don't think Dawn really felt the risk. Felt the risk outweighed the benefit. No.
I get what you
The benefit outweighed the risk. There we go. I swapped the two. And unfortunately, Icecool is not able to really swap the tables for that much longer here against Dawn, as Dawn is starting to bring things back here. OD activation from Icecool, we do have to respect it just a tad a bit.
Well, 8 is down, so you definitely gotta respect this large man running at you. Because look at this damage, dude. Oki's gonna look very good as well. This could easily lead to the end of a round. That's a really big call out. I'm surprised by it being like a raw air throw there. I'm just assuming it's a player-to-player interaction and knowing how they work, but yeah, that was very, very bold here. Sandwich pressure coming in. It's gonna be yet another dual bios hitting the screen.
Oh my god,
not able to
block
get
it all.
any mix. Yeah, in fact, he actually pushed, because Icecool barriered and because Dawn didn't establish their sandwich, he actually got pushed out of Ada, so the rest of the dual bios mix could be jumped out. That was quite unfortunate here. Now Dawn still maintaining good pressure here, but yeah, it was very surprising. This is like the third dual bios. Now Ignis ain't even hitting him, dude. Ignis ain't even.
Yeah, Lele keeping us just a sitting duck there, as Icecool's like, okay, yeah, now I just get to do whatever I want. And yeah, shoot. Yeah, no, what we say, the third duo spouse, fourth duo spouse?
I'm so mad. I'm so mad.
Yeah. No, that last one definitely was not it. And yeah, Icecool showing Dawn exactly why. But it is still a little risky, going for that roll forward, because Dawn can try to play around that, but just didn't do so in that instance. Now we have that ground viper. Now we have that spin. So now we're going to be able to really maximize the amount of damage we find off our confirms, especially if we can land a crush trigger like that. Dawn knowing so, going to be spending that burst, and then also putting that doll right in front of Susanoo's face. But great checks though with those 5 days.
Looked like one of those moments where you just barely react and then you try to OD, but by the time you OD, you got hit. So now it becomes first. You lost such a huge resource. Again, for Relius, it's not necessarily as bad because you do at least get full screen positioning, but it is not. It is not. Oh,
another
quick
great
tail
check
swipe
there.
against the really good.
Yeah, okay.
AC from downtown and a throw on top of it. Oh, he's dead.
That's it.
you're actually just dead. You're gone. It's gonna be spin, 2D, super. Yeah, I'll see you next game.
Hey, 1-1. Took a little bit of time for Icecool to warm up, but now we're in prime condition going into game 3.
Yeah, I'll posit a theory, I guess, a food for thought, maybe. Icecool as a player is typically interesting to watch, as it feels that his offense and his ability to successfully win is often based in his opponent's fear and his confidence in a given moment. Now, you may say that literally applies to everyone, and to an extent, yes, but I feel like it's especially so for Icecool, where he really does rely upon, pressuring you into making, very foolish mistakes. And when he doesn't have those opportunities, things can get a little weird. But he does have, really good, solid, he does have some solid, defensive skills to pair along with it. Look at all these IBs, for example. That's 36 meters just for blocking. And now look at Dawn with only 23 meters. That's crazy. That's that's so much meter economy.
What is that meter going to do for you when you're stuck in this combo? Hey, we'll have that to use on defense. We are very okay with just spending it on counter assault. But without that DPRC, we don't have a really strong defensive option right now.
You took my whole flow. I was about to mention both of those things in opposite order. Thank you. Genuine. that's not a bad thing. 6C, 6D. These guys love that. I swear to God. Something's up with Susanoo. They love their standing overheads. Especially, 60 at range is pretty sick.
Oh my god, the tech coming out from Dawn. Pushing forward, trying to sandwich it with the doll, not able to find it. As Icecool just backs all the way up. Trying to create that distance. Getting hit by the spike once, getting hit by it twice. Finds the hit, OD, and the burst going right on through. RC after the gunshot, Lele attempt, no dice. Doll, anti-air. Staying cool under pressure, just like his namesake. Icecool now on set point instead of Dawn. Wow, we were just playing this one way more patient than what we've been playing before, because before we were going for those, you know, jump forward JA, jump forward air throws, but now just jump back and then go for those gunshots. And now we have, you know, we have God Press, we have shot cans, we also have DP. You know, Toledo, maybe we will see a God Press.
We might. I'm not gonna lie. It really does feel like Icecool's been doing like a low percent run of some sort. Like, it's been hard for him to just get like all of the resources necessary to make some of this work. But right now, things are looking quite good for him.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We're just continuing to lay this pressure here on Dawn. Dawn finally able to get out of the corner, but so low on health. One touch is all we need. We don't have burst available, so we have to defend this perfectly. No barrier left, and we take it to the air without barrier. That was checkmate.
Dude.
A lot of Rachel players, well, it isn't a lot of like Carl players. Like the ones that we do have are very strong and do leave a lasting impact.
I would say so, yeah. You might still see some tight execution. Not necessarily top tier, but, you know. Especially with the way that Fuzzama, like, lands some of these rounds.
Okay, pretty aggressive round start there from Betadood, just running forward, you know, predicting that jump back round start like we see from the Hazama players, but not really going for any buttons, you know, scared of that air-to-air that Fuzzama could go for in response. But Fuzzama going to be drawing that first blood here against Betadood. Unfortunately, not able to find the knockdown off that combo, but still, though, we do have the health advantage, and we also have the neutral advantage, I would say, as well. Sure.
These Bloodedge players, they just find these strange DPs, and they're like, alright, dude, okay, man.
Oh, interesting burst there from Betadood. Really believing in getting that corner position here against Fuzzama. And yeah, we're just going to be looping that pressure there on Fuzzama's face, in front of Fuzzama's face. Fuzzama unfazed though. Popping them up with the chains, getting the super, looking clean.
Yeah, Buzz definitely clocking in for his shift as well. That kind of routing and that, like, that smoothly, that's just another day in the office.
Okay, yeah, there's
super jumping
the
CRM 10 doesn't work out there. But yeah, as I think you were saying, you know, just both players immediately with the super jump. Betadood just a little faster on the draw with the
Okay, we should be able to get the knockdown here. Yeah, alright. It's going to be working out this time. Catching the jump from Betadood as well. Even better start here for Fuzzama, as Betadood just really feels like both out by this Fuzzama play here. This corner pressure looking so solid. That's it. Oh no!
Trying to go for the mid OD route there. That looks genuinely difficult. I can see why that would drop here. However, ends up finding a chain. It's a lot more simpler when you're just looking for a quick O-tension.
Man. Alright. I guess Betadood wasn't ready to clock into a shift this evening.
Sometimes you get a bad
not in
performance.
the right mood.
It happens.
Yeah. Heard that he wasn't getting a raise.
You miss that quarterly bonus, life really does feel different.
It's like, why do I even try? But no, I mean, Fuzzama gained that game one. We saw it before against Playguy, where like Playguy, I believe, also got that game one against Betadood. But Betadood always finds a way to bring it back. I'm going to say this, and I'm going to like commentator curse Betadood. We'll see. Fuzzama looking really, really solid right now. The way we're walling out Betadood, the way we're playing neutral as well. Not playing too risky, but also, you know, picking the right options and cycling through them well enough where Betadood is getting caught a lot of times that we're trying to take that risky escape.
Fuzz keying into a lot of very early chain usage right there, and while it is good in order to like maneuver around, like Betadood is also the type that really did just kind of like watch him do that and then go, oh, okay, great, well now your mobility is gone, so I think I'm just gonna run at you. And Fuzz tried to be really preemptive there. That's why like the flash kick came out so early, but again, like these are situations where you don't need to be as preemptive if you're a little more mindful of your resource management. Now, nicks the chain here, and then, exactly, right, gets the air throw. So this is looking quite good for Fuzz. Should be, like, 4K damage or something? I don't know.
No, not quite.
A little more routine.
We're just gonna hold this. Oh no, gets hit by a low, and Potention does get that pickup as well. This skill should look pretty good here, especially with the OD pop, increasing the damage by getting that life steal. EA,
Quite gonna kill, but it's very
inactive flow. No.
Yeah. It's one of those cases where, like, if he had like 50 meter, easily gone from this world, gone from this mortal coil, so to speak.
But man, I mean, 3 rounds in a row here for Fuzzama, right? Yeah, 3 rounds in a row. I'm not hallucinating that game 1, right? But anyways, regardless, yeah, no, looking incredibly solid. Betadood yet to really make a statement in this set just yet.
Cajun. When the Hazama plays, dude, I'm telling you, man, the confirms are always gas. Confirms are quite nailed.
Dude, you know, like, you know the Hazama player is like about to win when we take you up to the top of the screen and we just can't see half of our characters anymore.
We're anime, baby. This is how it goes. The ender is successfully died. Some senses. Oh my god.
Oh, yeah, good barrier there. Making that whiff. Because of that, Betadood's able to immediately respond here to Fuzzama. Gets knocked down. What are we going to do here? We don't have 50 meter. So just going to have to play it safe here with those 2 A's, with the stagger pressure. Okay, OD on the 5B, and we're just going to press that button. That should be it. 50
now,
meter.
Assuming no drops, no nonsense, you are definitely getting thrown all the way out of the bracket, out of top 8. Thank you for popping in, but we will see you.
I think I've never really been disappointed by the ones that Icecool has chosen.
I don't know if I have been, huh?
Now let's talk talk about a player we have been disappointed by the music choices. No, just kidding. Let's get right into the segment.
You are
What, you want to name a name?
I don't have any names. That's why I was just like, oh, like, look, you got it in the back pocket. Look, I take ownership. I already did the stand on that joke, so can't exactly redo it.
No, I'm not here to make enemies.
I figure. But as mentioned earlier, we were talking about relatively patient neutral. Both players really just trying to get into like an ideal range. You know, both characters' buttons are very effective. Like B normals are very effective. I like that mid range, but their A normals are also ridiculous in terms of stuff in the person. So you see like this dynamic show.
Yeah, so both of these characters are going to be contesting a lot of the same space, that mid-range space, but one thing you have to worry about Susanoo is that, you know, Ragna does have access to that 5D, which can shut down a lot of his options, so we want to be playing around that. It's kind of similar to other mid-range characters that give him trouble, think like S, for example, where she has those faster, longer buttons, and in that same sense, Ragna has that 5D that can do exactly that. But, you know, if he's choosing to go for these 5Cs, that's definitely way more manageable for a character like Susanoo.
For sure. Oh, Jesus, that was fair throw. That could have gone very, very left, honestly. This damage is going to look pretty decent here, but again, it's really on the next hit. DP is available for Susan, and it looks like Playguy wants to respect that for the time being. That's a lot of IBs. That can make it so tricky. You really don't want to eat DP RC into, like, some nonsense here. 17 seconds on the clock. This is looking very, very close here. Any stray hit really does just win the round here. Not even off the strength of, like, killing the opponent outright, but probably just from, like, timing them out with a health move here. But it looks like Playguy's going to be able to close it out entirely. With a
no, I think Icecool really just handed Playguy the round right there, going for that Grand Viper. You know, Playguy was playing so patient, so defensive, and so that is exactly the option that Playguy was trying to bait out.
OD comes out over here. He's just sitting still.
Yeah.
That's the most uni-player interaction I've ever seen. I'm not gonna lie. That's some Under Nights like stuff.
Yeah, long stare downs. Playguy really brings those long stare downs to the sets that he plays. I mean, one of the most famous clips with him is literally the one against Monarch where they stared each other down for like 8 seconds, and then Playguy still won regardless.
Like that genuinely was hilarious. Playguy though, working off a really, really good lead right there with the lifesteal especially. Oh my lord.
Oh my
Stars
God,
and Stripes, you got clipped with a 6C, and now you're getting sent to the corner off of a very slow starter. I hate getting hit with 6C, dude. It makes me so
Oh
mad.
my God, the OD timing from Play Guy. Can we talk about that?
Hold on a second. First off, he's trying to optimize the damage. Still manages the OD DBD, but that might not be enough. Susan health is ridiculous, dude. Now he gets a full powered, well, not full powered OD. You just DP'd?
I guess so. I mean, well, yeah, I guess so. And maybe like we were maybe trying to play for chip, but I don't think that would have worked.
That
Regardless,
was the
yeah,
most...
no, that DP worked. Wow,
that was the most. All right, man, stop it. It's like, all right, dude, come on. I don't care.
Yeah,
man, stop it. Mind you, he just dies for that if that DP wins or blocks. Like you genuinely just leave the room. So it is rather tough here.
The wheel of fate is turning.
Yeah, Play Guy just full sending it and going to be sending that energy here going into game number 2. Play Guy finding that low with the 2D, getting an early soft knockdown there against Icecool. Not going to amount to too much, but this one's going to be amounting a lot more, getting the rundown, bringing us to the corner. Icecool does have that DP unlocked, no RC. We still have to play around that though, especially if we're going to go for the stagger pressure. Here we go. Play Guy still getting that throw, getting that pickup, getting some more damage on the table.
These are looking decent for the time being. And again, like both of these players, like you see the neutral jump into nothing, the walk back and forth. Like these are all anticipatory like movements for whether it's an ID button or something else going on here. They're really just trying to prep themselves for like specific burst movement or call out like run up like crouching button or something in order to like clip them for it on the descent.
Hey, got good blocks here from Icecool. Play Guy finding a throw yet again. Icecool just not playing around these, and if he just no, okay, not enough to get the kill just yet. Not really wanting to spend a lot of resources either. We'll find it though on that DP, completely whiffing. Yeah, Play Guy pulling a page out of xcaliburbladez there, just walking all the way back. And you have to walk out really far, by the way, because Susanoo's DP is massive.
Cool guys don't block DPs, they just walk back from them and make them win. Oh my god.
No.
That's an uneasy.
Huh?
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm scratching my head on that one.
It's a bit of a head scratcher, I'm not gonna lie. First come. Dude, look at that 6A RC 6A. It feels so easy.
Shoot, it's like a freaking. Yeah, no, never mind. I'm gonna get shot if I try to go for that reference. Here we go. Icecool. Try and bring it back. Have to go for the CT. Play Guy being the freest layup there with that DP in response.
Anti-air finally on the blood sight. Looking good here. This could be a very, very big turn for Icecool, but he's got to play it safe. First tech.
Anti-tech. You see? On the Hades.
Or
You have to play around DP. It's coming. No, we're still holding on to it. Play Guy outside that range. Yeah, we're baiting out this DP hard.
ID ever, dude. Oh, nah, man. Ah, yay.
Yeah, shoot, man. Yeah, no, we were baiting it out hard, and then we still get hit by it.
That's so rough.
Here with the 6A. Here's to this round here for Play Guy. Gets a knockdown. And we're going after this. 2A throw coming through. Icecool still not using that burst. Saving it for the OD. Look for that comeback potential, looks like. Or save it for a burst if we do get hit. But there's that OD coming through on the 2A. Not going to really amount to too much, but this EA most certainly will give us that active flow, get a little bit of damage on board, create that distance so that we can go for the Grand Viper unlock. Now we do have that movement tool available. Play Guy doesn't have the OD like we had last time, so we can't just call it out and bait it like we did before, especially with 15 years to back it up. It does have that as an approach option, but we're going to have to be a little bit more worried about how we're playing defense. The tech, getting ourselves out of that situation, but Play Guy throwing him off the backboard, off of the air throw into the Astral. Play Guy cementing that 2-0 and moving forward to losers yet again. Man, what a performance there. Getting to losers semifinals. What a performance.
I think Barlow Skipper had put it pretty well like ages ago, where he was basically just kind of like, sometimes you just boot up against Hazama and it's really just a matter of like understanding their timings for their approaches. The ways in which they will either chain in, delay, or like J2 and 4B to like pause for a moment there and everything. It can be pretty tough. But
Yes.
overall, you really do want to like remain cognizant of how they are like operating there. For Noel, it can get a little dicey just with the way that like Hazama can delay the timing here. So we'll see how things go.
Yeah, already things are looking pretty good here for Fuzzama, as that's going to be an early first blood here. I'm just going to start looping some of those 5Bs there on that block, backing up, setting out some of those chains. We do have one chain stock remaining, 0 now, so we still want to be a little careful. Seb kind of knows that, trying to push forward, being a little aggressive, but Fuzzama doing a great job at still walling out Seb despite having no other chains available. We'll get them back after this combo, however.
Not the best Oki, but forcing out the OD from Fuzzama, especially just managing to get the hit and effectively nullifying, super, super huge here. Like, Fuzzama with OD can be very, very dangerous. And with the drive landing cancel to pop the fast overhead there, that stuff is real tough. I'll explain the drive landing cancels in a moment here, but, you know, again, we're in a very fast-paced match here. Really smart from Seb, like Noelspup, to not opt for the double super there since it wouldn't kill. Keeping the meter there on hand in case a risky mix-up goes left.
Okay, yeah, I wasn't too sure if that was going to kill or not, but I think you're right. Just not enough damage to really confirm it at the very least.
Yeah, at least it looked that way to me, and I can only assume it looked that way to Seb as well.
Popping him up.
Cheers. It's not going to be super crazy on the Oki, yeah. Just opting for the like 2 and 4B, just checking the delay tech. That looked like it was a genuine confirmed like 6A 10. I can't lie.
Yeah, no, I think, well, Fuzzama normally I feel like goes, confirms those. Like, I don't think Fuzzama really locks it in too much. Sometimes we do, and we get blown up for it. But a lot of times I feel like we generally do hit confirm. Alright.
Good dash under there. If there's one thing that Noel Vermillion has, this character's actually really fast. Her ability to cross the screen just naturally, and with her like air dash range, it's actually very, very good. However, that don't mean much when you're standing still for at least 12 frames for a command grab to connect with you.
That's exactly what's going to be doing there. Fuzzama evening us up, taking us to round 3. Both players with OD as well. Both players jumping back and playing passive. But that's exactly what Fuzzama wants it to see. It's like, okay, yeah, no, you're not going to be approaching me, so I'm not going to just do whatever I want. And we've been talking about how flexible Fuzzama can be with just bearing up those approaches with those chains. And Fuzzama can kind of just, play as lane as we want, and Seb has to find a way to work around that.
Yeah, the big thing is that, like, ultimately, like, Noel is forced to be the beatdown against Hazama and doesn't really have a lot of great tools for that. There's some things that can be very effective, but, like, you can see it here now where, like, Fuzz really does just kind of, like, get to have his cake and eat it, too, in some situations, and just, like, waiting a surprisingly long amount of time, or what can feel like a long amount of time, before engaging. Like, that's just a raw chain, no, like, A cancel or nothing.
Wow, okay, yeah, just finding that counter right then and there.
It can be
Man,
very
double
easy.
super, is that enough?
Not quite, no. Doesn't look like it, I guess. Oh my god, that crossed the connected. That was actually good. Oh! You are gone from this mortal coil. I will see you next game.
Yeah, that's the second time in a row that Fuzzama kind of just got smoked for using that overhead there. That one was just really good timing, but the other time was also misspaced. So I think Fuzzama's also going to play very careful with how Seb is using that barrier to push block Fuzzama and get him outside the range of that overhead to make it with. But also, like, if we have OD, it's a risk that we have to worry about. And in that case, Fuzzama got blown up for taking that risk.
I would say, yeah, honestly, basically that, to a T.
That's like, I mean, but it's the benefit is very, very huge if Fuzzama does land it. So I can understand the reasoning behind it. As we go into this next round, we'll see how that interplay with the overhead is going to work here. And also the interplay in neutral as well. Seb's been playing a lot more solid in neutral, it feels like, being able to chase down Fuzzama. But I think most importantly, Noelspup is just putting on just a really good defense here against Fuzzama as well.
Yeah, it's a very interesting time seeing these two play. Because Fuzzama, like, just in general as a like the way he plays Hazama, like he really tries to like engage play at a very fast pace. And you can see the ways in which Seb like really can respond to that in kind and managing himself. But like there are times in which you are like, no pun intended, like kind of balancing on a knife's edge.
Yeah, for sure. And that feels like the exact situation we're in right now. J2D catching Fuzzama on that approach. Really clean stuff, and the conversion as well from Seb, doing a decent amount of damage on Fuzzama. And good call out there from Fuzzama getting out of that corner position. We do not want to get hit right there because that would be death almost certainly. So playing here in the mid screen is going to lessen the odds of a combo from Seb being able to get a guaranteed kill.
Burst it back?
Fuzzama. I mean, you have to, right? Because that's dead.
Brother! Do the dishes! You bursted that? The no take on the purple though is also genuinely like super unfortunate. You are so greedy for that, JD. Oh my god. I'm just very surprised. Because I genuinely don't know. I'm just surprised because usually Fuzz, you know, Fuzz just likes OD. So when he like there are some situations he bursts, I'm like, oof, okay.
Oh yeah, that was an awkward situation right there. Popped the chain and didn't really go for any follow-up, so just fell down to the ground very awkwardly. So Seb just waiting down below, getting the catch there on Fuzzama, and getting a lot of damage as well. I mean, we saw that 3800 there flash for just a second. And speaking of damage, Fuzzama going to be able to get 4K as well. Definitely nothing to sniff at here.
Drop them all sadly. JD comes in after the C follow-up from chain here. Noelspup should be looking pretty good. OD's about to come online for the next offensive interaction. You have well over 50 meter. This is pretty great. Opts for the overhead. RC into low here. Might be able to pop OD for a kill here,
No,
but doesn't.
we're not going to do that.
Yeah. Drive landing cancel once more. You can 4D. There it is on the counter assault. Dude, and mind you, like the delay in that of going, he's gonna get nervous here. And that's where all 4D is so impressive.
Final game, final round. Actually, no, not final game. Fuzzama actually still yet to get a game. Feels like this one's also been going on for a while, but with these players just taking blows back in a 4.
Really, really good delay there on the OD. Recognizing, like, Fuzz recognizing that he's still in stance. So he can't just back up and then go for the C follow-up. It's still, again, body invulns. You can do most, like, mash buttons that Noelspup would go for there.
Alright, we're going to
reset.
final round.
Yeah. Who knows at this rate? Like, these guys, this is a slugfest.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. It looks like that overhead is going to work this time to 6B. Find that connection. Fuzzama getting that hit confirm as well. OD out of the way, so we didn't have to worry about that. We just really had to worry about, I guess, Seb blocking it, I suppose. But even then, you're still pretty safe.
Please select your character.
All right. You called last game, last round.
I guess I did, yeah. I'm going to stand on it.
You're going to stand on it? Okay.
I'm going to stand on it. You can't see me. I'm standing on it right now.
I believe in you. Or I believe you. And I guess
I was actually ready to just still stay sitting, but I forgot that production can call me out for that. So I'm like, okay, I gotta.
So you lied. So you should straight up lie after saying yes.
I was trying to swindle y'all, but I forgot production is all seeing. They're omniscient. Omniscient.
There's always a opportunity. But let's see what we get over here for the time being. Laying out the neutral decently. That's a big OD. If that's like a 3C, that's huge. But again, like we saw this happen to Betadood, honestly, being like one boost interaction where it was a 2B OD scenario in which Fuzzama was able to. Oh my god, these changes always make me so interesting. That hit so late. What? I've never seen a change hit like that. That's so odd. That's genuinely odd.
These characters are just ice skating around the screen.
Yo, these are dropped now. Actually, I don't even know if these are dropped at this point. These are just drops that like somehow maintain offensive pressure.
It's Toledo. The word is called the scramble.
Oh, it's so true. So true.
There's a fighting game term for that.
There is.
Oh my
Look at the
god.
barrier
Yeah,
gauge,
a lot
by
of
the way.
damage here coming from Hazama. Oh yeah, barrier gauge also looking really low here for Seb. Oh, shoot. Yeah, that
Try to
final
keep it
hit
first
is
safe. Wants to keep this-
interesting.
Actually, no, that's a big confirm. You might actually die for that.
Interesting.
Oh my
Wait,
god.
call it now. Is that going to kill? No.
Not quite. That's so much damage. It's enough damage that it forced out the burst from Fuzz, which is actually pretty good. Like in this particular situation. The
Barrier-
danger state, not quite. Not quite.
Yeah.
One of those moments where I think that Seb just got very caught up in the pace of the set, not realizing the barrier scenario there and just how much advantage Fuzz would have there. Really dicey.
Thankfully, though, we are pretty much back at full over here as well. So, you know, that resource expenditure has not really hurt Seb in long run. Fuzzama, on the other hand, spending that progress, will have to wait a little bit for that to come back. But if we can continue to keep this momentum going here on the Seb, we might not even have to worry about being in that position. Seb, though, I mean, the way we just jump out of the corner, I don't know how we do it, but we're always able to do it, make it over that fence, and the amount of damage we're going to put here on a Fuzzama is going to be quite a lot here. The difference maker here is if we can find another confirm, and that's exactly what we find here.
Another drive land cancel, and it's a blink and you miss it, because honestly, you're gonna miss it. What Noelspup is doing is that's just a JC canceling into JD at the last minute so that you don't see the animation to put Noel in the drive state to land and then immediately follow up with a standing overhead there. Because her drive overheads are so fast. And again, sometimes you just have to like guess between whether it's just gonna be a JC drive land cancel or if it's just gonna be JC 2B. It's probably like one of her like better mix-up options available. Whoa, that was.
And I like that you pointed it out, because normally when people look at Noel's pressure, we're like, okay, yeah, this is very streamlined, this is very linear. Like, you only have so many options out of each drive
Big hit!
sequence.
That's
But-
actually such a huge OD.
Yeah.
Mind you, Fuzz just that's a really disastrous drop. That I cannot understand like how bad that is for that drop to happen here. Like that is a huge momentum swing, not in his favor. Great press on the approach, to be honest. The 2A is gonna get it done. You know, Noel can go for like 2A 2B pressure like really well, to be honest here, but this is looking a bit tough. Air throw ends up connecting there. Fuzzama is wisening up to how Noelspup wants to move in order to get around the like chain cross up here, and then opts for like an air throw instead in order to like call it. It's a big risk, but like again, it's a huge hit there. Nice confirm, realizing the 6A was blocked. Air throw might be coming up, and Fuzz is really trying to pick up the pace there. It's on set to slow it down or find a way to get a hit despite that. CA is going to allow Fuzz to approach on his terms. 5B, not quite it there, and dang, just cut up. Whew.
Fuzzama moving for Sekas. I'm sure that they're home alone, just doing whatever they're doing here, playing, not having to worry about a crowd cheering behind them. If they're reading Twitch chat, that's on them. Like, you shouldn't be reading Twitch chat while you're playing the game. I know one player that does that, but I won't name names at the moment. Regardless, here we're at winners finals, first to 3, by the way, here between DEMARCUS Cousins on the Mai and xcaliburbladez on the Carl.
Sometimes even the neighbors gotta hear it pop off. But let me tell you something. I feel bad a little bit when I yell on commentary out here. I'm like, yo, I know my neighbors gotta hate, but it's just hype. It's just hype.
Thankfully, I'm on like the top floor, so I don't think I have to really worry about that too much. But
I feel bad.
I'm not too sure myself. So far I've not had any noise complaints. You know, if xcaliburbladez is able to completely dismantle DEMARCUS like we're seeing right here, then I don't think I would have to worry about that.
Wait, did you see that JC 5A link? It's like it was such a blink and you miss it moment, but like,
Yeah.
there is something so cool about watching xcal's routing where it's like, this dude really does just like know so much of how to get around like certain like scenarios, and really does have genuinely cool routing. Like, of all the top tiers in this game, like I really do think that like Lychee's routing is the sickest, but xcal really does manage to like show me something new. It feels like every other time he plays.
All right, yeah, in the corner. You know, Toledo, I'm gonna like ask you something. How familiar are you like watching DEMARCUS Cousins play like in person?
Not very in person. Not very. I don't think I've been to an event where DeMarcus Cousins.
Because right now, I can tell you this much: DeMarcus Cousins is getting a noise complaint. This guy's probably like screaming, like asking for help, asking God to descend from above and get him out of this pressure.
But now he's striking Xcal.
Yeah, never mind.
He's striking him. That's an overhead OD. That's a dead Carl. You're having a blast.
God answered prayers right there. Like DeMarcus Cousins, like shoot, dude, like anything, help me out here. And like a gift from God, able to take that right there through his own hard work. DeMarcus Cousins able to even up the round count and stay in this game.
Not quite able to push Carl into tipper range there, so unable to really generate some decent advantage. Honestly, beating up on Ada a little bit to force out the 2-2D and bring the doll back is quite nice here. However, now we're back into a pretty, we're in the bad situation here. I'm not gonna lie, big dog. But the up back JB, absolutely belligerent, and yet still getting caught by the 6-2-3D. But mistakes somehow turn into miracles for DeMarcus Cousins here, managing to get out of there. Opts for the tricky. I don't even know if that was left or right. I'll be quite frank there with the instant dive here. This is looking quite good. Gonna build naturally the 50 meter in order to kill there. Likely looking for throw OD at this point. A lot of things can get it done. The A dive actually whiffs there, really surprisingly. So to double back on this real quick, A dive is plus enough that even if you IB it, Maya is actually still plus. And it looked like Xcal was looking to IB, missed the IB, and again, like we've seen earlier with DeMarcus Cousins in terms of the dive and still pressing the 5C, just slams that button, like regardless. In order to just prevent any like option coming out there from Xcal here, and thus literally just takes the round, arguably maybe steals the round and game away from Xcal off of that blow.
I think also too, there's like just really smart plays coming in from DeMarcus Cousins as well. You know, playing around Ada, realizing like, hey, you know, that projectile can be coming from behind, and I have to be in the air stalling to avoid that entirely, and that's exactly what we did. And Excalibur, like Carl himself, does not really have that many options to deal with an airborne mine. And so if we can avoid that projectile, if the doll isn't on us, then we're not really scared about a whole lot, right? Like if the doll is on us, then we're probably scared about nails, right? Something along the lines of that. But right now, we can't even get that set up because Xcaliburbladez just continue to get mauled in the corner. I mean, there's no other way to describe it here.
Just barely gets the spacing for Ada in order to convert off of the counter assault. Let me tell you, it's gross, it's disgusting, but we've seen it before, the dangerous defense. Forcing the burst out of DeMarcus Cousins after what was otherwise a huge flurry of good offense, getting surprisingly clipped by the overhead after the 5XC there. Oh my god. This is high-paced, hot-blooded like Blazblue right now.
Doll checks the doll and
unable to get to tipper.
Big running to get around it as well. Doll is inactive. Right now, Xcaliburbladez does have DeMarcus in that combo and in this pressure, so that doll is going to slowly regenerate. Tries to go for the overhead. DeMarcus comes edge up there. Not going to be able, not going to take it. Not going to block it. Jumping right on over. But Xcaliburbladez going to be able to find that conversion there with that jump and blocking him in the corner here with the doll in tandem.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about the interaction that started that mess like after this game because that is very complicated and kind of absurd. Plus over here, trying to find a way to like continue pressure, decides to back off. The dive does get clipped by the Future 60 there, however. A little rough here. Might be able to get a kill by spending all resources. Yeah, this is gonna be pretty smooth here.
All right, another clean round going to Xcaliburbladez. Yeah, no, it's really interesting seeing the interplay between these two players. Seeing how like it feels like once one person gets the lead, it's hard for the other one to make that comeback. Not impossible, but you know the way they just snowball.
DeMarcus Cousins as a player is very momentum heavy, and Xcal like and Carl the character in general is very momentum heavy. Xcal does have a lot of like very good like natural defense in order to kind of mitigate like reliance on momentum, I would say. But things can still get very, very weird. I really love that. No fuzzy opportunity off the 6E actually. I don't know if Carl has fuzzy off that. Yeah, goes for the counter assault there. Because DeMarcus Cousins is opting to IB so much of that string, he just builds an insane amount of meter there. Like that's one thing that's actually really important when you're like playing against Carl. It's your meter management. if your burst is down and you have nothing to go for there, you need to have a decent CA available. He's opting for the A follow-up off of the 5XC in order to maintain decent spacing so that counter assault actually whiffs there. It's really, really important to recognize that distinction here. Dive comes out here, 2C manages to connect, awkward position, burst comes out of Xcal here, and this is looking pretty good. 623D might come out, but it's going to be bubble. Nice dive in order to get out of the corner there. That's very active usage of Ada here, and Xcal does not have OD to work with. DEMARCUS is willing to play for time here. I know Xcal typically is too, but what a beautiful flip at the end there. Delay the landing in order for the 236C to whiff there. So to back up a moment here, I gotta put on the nerd emoji glasses here. The reason why the lunge there in that last round ended up going in that way, so tipper for lunge works off of the frames. It's the last 2 frames of lunge that are tipper frames. Also has a bigger hitbox because of course it does. Because DEMARCUS made contact with Ada there, it actually extended the active frames, so tipper didn't end up happening there, which kind of messed up some of the situation there, which is really, really crazy there. Anyway, we're going into potentially the last game. It's 2-0. It's 2-0. Salté, it's 2-0.
Yeah, well, here's the thing too, Toledo. Fuku versus Xcal was also 2-0.
Look, man.
Let's not forget.
Just saying. Just saying.
And Fuku was also really dominant in the 2 games he won. So let's not count out Xcal just yet, but yes, we should absolutely emphasize that it is 2-0 for DEMARCUS Cousins right here, right now. 2 good rounds here, and that is going to be wraps here from Xcal on the winner's side. Super comes out.
Oh, you are greedy! What?
Okay.
Force the block, so it's still... This is gross, dude. That was disgusting. I actually never seen that interaction. That is so gross. That's a really good super jump.
I'm still trying to process what I just saw.
That was really good super jump. Okay, by the way, so for context, when Carl super jumps like that, he actually has to do a really tight dash of the super jump. He has to cancel the animation of the step of his dash because it's a step dash. It's guard bonus, so he gets all this ID. Look at all the meter gain, dude. 60 meter now for the price of getting unblockable. So, I guess it's a fair trade if you're playing
That is going to be one of your best defensive options against Carl.
It's still
the way that invincibility, unless he hard baits it out, there's not really a lot of ways we can use to avoid it. Oh man, what a conversion coming in from xcaliburbladez. Coming through, gain the 5A check as well, trying to bait out a burst, but no burst comes out.
Now you actually genuinely have to burst. There's no other option. He's trying to deprive DEMARCUS Cousins of as many resources as possible. This is incredibly dominant. 43 seconds left on the clock here, and I'm not gonna lie, this is the most you have to give it all you got. DEMARCUS forced to even just hit Ada just to prevent a button from happening so that he can take to the sky here.
Okay, that JC coming through, very risky for xcaliburbladez to keep Ada online, so choosing to
see.
Oh my god.
Combos off of the Volante still?
Off of the fireball. Holy moly, xcaliburbladez with the awareness and the dribble. Looking really, really clean there.
Yo. You spoke that into existence, man. Are we gonna see a reverse 3-0, dude? Are we gonna see it? I have to ask
happened
quietly.
Before.
I'm really thinking about it, man.
It's happened before.
I'm gonna go to bed at midnight.
And if it's not if it's not here in winners finals, it's probably gonna be a grand finals reset.
I don't know, dog. We'll get there when we get there, man. But for the time being, this is crazy. Okay, great fatal. Didn't believe in the hit, which is fair to be honest, but so unfortunate. That really could have taken away a burst, or at least been the planetary necessary. Delay taking on Carl? That's tough.
Okay, the flip there coming through. xcaliburbladez playing patient, just holding this barrier. There's the projectile coming from behind. You have to respect that and respect the swipes. And that's going to be the counter assault in response to knock xcaliburbladez in the corner. And that's what a... Oh my gosh.
Tries to flip out, but Yoki is too active, man. Too active. End up connecting here. This is looking crazy. We want to talk about the energy of the room being shifted, man. This is that in motion. This is crazy.
Yeah, and people asking in the chat, yes, he can combo off of CA It cannot kill. It is hard programmed to not kill. But, you know, the way it can literally just knock you into the corner instead is absolutely insane. The way that it
into
like able to turn on him.
He reset into Konanima. Oh no. Oh, he's locked in. Oh, he's pissed. Oh, he's locked in. Oh my god.
Yo, Bobby, y'all, you need to be like looking upwards again, man. You're gonna need another blessing because we're in for a really rough time. It looks like DEMARCUS trying to stage this comeback in this round, trying to stay alive, not wanting to get us to that game 5 because that's where things get really scary. And xcaliburbladez not scared at all to Nash in that instance, catching DEMARCUS and xcaliburbladez really feeling like we got that download. Game number 5, here we go.
Please select your
I'm
character.
shocked and disturbed. Oh, are you?
Clover.
Do you? Really?
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like
My Natsume.
Okay. Okay.
it's like is this a final ditch effort to like switch to Celica? No, I don't think Celica's the play, but mine's definitely much better. But you can really feel like DEMARCUS kind of has xcal in his head right now because of the way that we were actually kind of thinking about it.
I don't know. I don't think that's doing much. I think xcal's like, all right, come on. I'm sure he's chilling. These guys are bare knuckle brawling it out. I'm not gonna lie. This is tough.
Yeah,
I like the
like,
adjustment
okay,
here.
sure.
We're seeing a bit more drive usage. Both players opting to play at a larger distance in neutral there. Getting the... Oh, 1-2. Okay, that was rough. Tipper hit. That's pretty good. Oh my god, just command dashes out. But the JB, however... Yo, he really... Pun fully intended. He bobbed and weaved on that one. That was kind of bonkers. RC in order to check for the counter assault last minute. Chilling out here. Dive in order to get the party started. Again, and you now see a big adjustment from xcaliburbladez where he's opting to go for command dash a lot more frequently, trying to nullify or at least force more commitment out of DEMARCUS Cousins. Ada's gone, so now you really just gotta swing for this child on the screen here.
Dude, we cannot catch him!
Very, very, very crazy evasive movement, I'm not gonna lie. Ends up canceling it out. That's such a beautiful adjustment. Because he's opting for the overhead there so frequently, xcal has been opting to command dash around it. But by canceling it instead and going into stance and then doing 2A, you're actually able to counter hit if he tries to command dash around it. That's so big.
Bobby.
And he's still keeping it at that layer. Double flip in order to get around the Volante. Look at the doll gauge, dude. So low.
Oh, yeah, going for the preemptive 5Cs, trying to stuff Ada, but xcaliburbladez knows better, holding off on the activation until we need her. And look at that, like DEMARCUS Cousins, like looking like a sitting duck there in neutral because he kept swinging at the doll. And look at the advantage that xcaliburbladez was able to build by setting up our positioning.
Very little doll gauge to work with, however. Building up now. Overhead finally connects here. First hit from xcal. Have to hold it out here. He burst big too early. You might just let Carl go without taking any amount of money for it. You got to make sure you take something if you're getting out of there. Manages to leave without paying any price here. Couple of hits connecting.
Oh,
it's gonna be the 6E bursting here. That's very dangerous. He's looking to draw out an OD, but it's the air throw that somehow connects. That's the burst. Counter assault out. It's not quite do or die, but it's damn near close to it. He's gonna be able to swap sides here. It's not quite it. One more mix up.
Oh, you're right.
One more mix. You roll out of 2D Oki and it works? That's supposed to beat that.
Oh my man, we were really strong in the air though. Just the projectile.
Can you see the 6C? Counter assault's available. But wait, Ada's dead. It's so close. Bro, another goal! It's the time! Oh my god! DEMARCUS Cousins the 4th gets it in 3 in order to send xcal out and make sure that he only got 2 games.
Fuzzama versus Play Guy. Classic matchup. They don't really need much of an introduction here as we get right into the set here at the Altar. The classic net play stage to go along with our classic matchup.
The wheel of fate is turning. Rebel 1. Action.
Yeah, let's see what comes up over here. Jesus, quick JA so far.
Once again, just a smart prediction there from Play Guy. Like, yes, the Hazama player is going to jump that chain, so we're going to jump for JA.
Oh, Command Reb ends up coming. This is a really early burst and a pretty early OD for Fuzzama. These guys are like dumping their resources on this one. Let's see. At the very least, though, it's, I suppose, more favorable for Playguy, just given the fact that Fuzz didn't end up getting to play with the D here. And oh my god, counter it. He might just die for that, actually. Oh my god, he's gone.
Are these like combo trials? Like, are we in training mode?
We're not in. Trust me, this ain't
mapping out our ideal win. But
if
no,
either of these players were CPUs for training mode, I would be so, like, and that was just the baseline, brother. That'd be crazy.
And now Fuzzama using Playguy as the training mode dummy. It seems like working on it perfect, but quite there just yet. Playguy, perfect response there with the 5A counter hit. Catchy Fuzzama trying to go for the downward chain. That's going to be bringing us to the corner. Playguy trying to go for that overhead. Fuzzama going to block it out, but not the subsequent follow-up. And that's going to be even more damage being stacked up on Playguy's side.
Pretty good button choice there from Playguy on recognizing the 6B was blocked there. I don't think I've seen someone actually just go for like 6A JV there and manage to maintain pressure recently. Oh my, that missed! You gotta Astral. You gotta. Oh, okay, it's not good. But it will be the kill regardless there. In a rather dominant, I think I would say, game one, no?
No, I would agree. No, very dominant there from Playguy. When he was in control, he was in control. And you know, the times that we saw Fuzzama like get to breathe, get to do something, you know, it was usually at the round start. You know, we're waiting some neutral interactions here and there, but the way Playguy was able to get out of those pressure sequence, the way Playguy was able to just keep that offense on Fuzzama as well, and also the way we played around a certain options like the Hotenjin, even though I think I'm also like, we're both surprised that the Hotenjin whiffed, but I feel like we did try to play around it at least a little bit.
For sure. It's genuinely unfortunate with the Hotenjin whiffing there. I mean, it is a very, very risky option despite the invuln in OD. And it's like high speed there, but still. So remember, those are semis. We really only have 2 games to play with, especially after that crazy, like near like reverse 3-0. Like we are. We got a maybe short set. You can never really tell with these two though.
5B. We're plus. DP into the burst.
There it is. Looking pretty good over here so far. Now things are evening up. Blake has been opting for a surprising amount of bursts early in this round here, which at the very least has like seemingly worked out in his favor, given that like, I mean, he's clobbering Fuzzama right now. I don't know what else to say on that end, but losing that burst opportunity can get very, very dicey very, very quickly. That's a very bold DP right there, but I kind of feel the vibe in a sense, but you really got to be careful for the reversal option and the mix-up opportunity that this OD provides. 6A coming in right there, as I say it. This is going to be a grip.
Let's go to next round.
It's not dead.
We're just going to next round, right?
Oh,
no,
dead.
yeah, double super.
No, my fault. It's just
what do you mean that's not
it's
dead?
Just one super. It's just
Oh, shout outs to Xtremesonic, perfectly timed here on that Fuzzama win. With the target of 11 here. Right now, Playguy is 1 point up. Fuzzama is trying to get a point in return, and it's getting closer there as now we have to take it around.
Right now, both players jockeying around in neutral, but it looks like Fuzzama is going to get the first clean hit here. Doesn't lead to 2. Whoa, I was not expecting a 2A there. Yeah, Fuzz is really trying to up the pace there. This is a thing that like I feel like he does sometimes, where like, just speaking on like I guess a player-to-player basis, like this is the thing that Fuzz does, where every now and then he just really wants to turn up the pace, and like you will see him not quite flail, but this dude will try to get really active really sudden. And you kind of have to tell him no, like put the toys away. We're not doing this today. But it can be really difficult just because of how sudden like he just turns up his like speed. Like, look at that, he just did freaking Jamajin. Playguy was like 20 feet in the air. He was like, nah, Jamajin with 2B.
Pop him up, take him to the corner. Get that
OD kills
knockdown.
from this point on. Yeah,
Oh my
OD,
gosh.
anything proper OD can't do. You greedy bastard.
Yeah.
That's not going to work out in your favor, big dog. That's going to be at least one super here. RC and the EA if that doesn't get it done. You are a dead Hazama walking.
Yeah, no, we've seen Fuzzama get blown up for that before, and we're going to see Fuzzama get blown up for that yet again here. Play guy now on set point after that play.
It's looking good, but again, Fuzz is only one round away from evening up the games and keeping things a little light and breezy. Regular throw ends up connecting here after all the command grabs that Fuzzama's been doing. Sends Play Guy right back to the corner. This is going to deal a pretty good amount of damage. Ends up getting the charge follow-up, but then whiffs. Oh, no, that's a big call-out attempt there. The 3C whiffing there is super disastrous for Play Guy's offense here. At the very least, the 6B ends up connecting. That's quite good. OD should be on the way rather soon. Probably on like the next hit or two, you're going to get active flow as well, so that's going to look very, very good, especially if Play Guy opts for like a CT somewhere. But the RC is going to jack up the OD, or like the active flow gauge here. Triggers right there on the hit. OD is available. A throw OD will get it done. Any clean hit into an OD cancel really does it. But it's just going to be a simple hit. No OD even necessary, man. That's just it.
Yeah, no, at that point, man, we just were not close enough.
You never know, man. You can't tell if that's going to be the starting point or if these players are going to go all the way back to like a layer 0 type of deal. Sometimes that ends up being an effective way to play it out, but we'll have to wait and see.
The wheel of fate is turning.
4 seconds.
Yeah, we have to wait and see as we get into losers finals round number 1, starting right here, right now. Simple run up to A there from Play Guy, but really having to respect the orb. Great check there on Ada, trying to go for the nails. And that's going to be a burst early coming out from Play Guy. xcaliburbladez trying to pop that OD as well, but both players popping it at the same time.
Yeah, and it's really rough when you run into that like burst OD scenario and your opponent ODs and mostly wins the interaction. The burst gauge difference is super huge. Now your opponent's able to potentially get active flow, which then makes it even harder. Like, things can get very dicey. Speaking of which, there's the active flow there, and xcal has yet to finally taken a scrap of like chip damage here.
Yeah, I'll say the silver lining here is that the barrier, OD gauge disparity isn't actually that big because of the amount of times Play Guy got hit immediately afterwards. Like, we're actually in the lead now, funnily enough, because xcaliburbladez kept comboing.
Yeah, so now it's a matter of like who can trigger active flow early, or Jesus, I'm not glad. It's not expecting Shapey to just hit that way. Oh my lord, rising overhead
after
there.
After the swipe.
Low. Yep, there it is. We'd seen Play Guy block that actually in their last set, and it looks like xcal cleaned up the execution on that ever so slightly.
Wow.
6-2-3 beat. Hala canceled from a regular jump. That was funky. Oh, he's just gone. And now Ragna the Bloodedge is just gone. RC, in order to get it done, no need to call Ada over for a big punch. I got it, sis.
Dude, xcal really trying to get back into grands with a vengeance here against DEMARCUS Cousins. That was a very quick game number 1.
This is an I gotta go to bed. This is an I gotta go to bed type of like deal. This is the like, I'm just gonna smoke you. I got things to do, man. I gotta get dinner today, dude. Like, I got this. I got the dishes. I got laundry. Damn, I got laundry. Like,
it's so funny because I think like most of the other CF tournaments I've seen on like TNS here have always like maybe ran towards like 10:30, 10:40 at the latest. But no, we're just like way into 11 p.m. Like 11 p.m. my side, like Central Time. Like we're way deep into this. We're getting close to midnight with this tournament, and I guess xcal is really not trying to get us to that point here. As right now, I mean, like, what do you do here in this position as Play Guy? We don't have the meter for the counter assault. We do have meter for OD or burst, but at this point, we're so low in health that it doesn't really feel like it's going to amount to too much.
He popped OD mid 2D. 4D connects from off screen and clap. Don't move anywhere, you silly, silly man. What? Like, actually, what? Like, what do you do, man? What are you doing this guy?
We just go to the next round.
That's the thing. There are certain times in which, like, you look at Xcal play and it fills you with a sense of dread because it's like, what do I do here? How do I, like, maneuver around this?
And you know, what's the best response to that is that you just got Carl. Like you just have to take it. But no, there are plays, but like, man, the risk and reward is just so skewed in Carl's favor that that decision making becomes so hard.
Oh, for sure. And to a certain extent, you know, maybe more of a tournament mentality thing. But, like, you know, you have to be a little delusional. You have to really just trust in your gut and your ability to surpass these people that are like, hitting these crazy levels here. CT there is pretty strong there. Not only, whoa, that's actually really surprising. 3D again doesn't end up like finding any purchase, and in fact the IAD doesn't go anywhere. Now Ada gets to recharge a little bit. Like, I really just do not want to engage with Xcal with this level of meter, and especially just 2D carrying Ada forward like that.
Yeah, dude, man, we were just holding forward in that instance. Oh yeah, there was going to be a throw coming in from Play Guy, winning that invincibility towards that projectile incoming. Wasn't able to get it there. Burst comes out from Play Guy. He would die here in this game, in this round, and Xcal finds it! Which way do you block? Dude, it looked like... You know what that looked like, Toledo?
What did it look like? Yeah, tell me.
It looked like Bang popping like OD and getting like the up diagonal air dash, like the way he teleports to like the other side of you. That's what it looked like. Like, it was so fast that it felt like you didn't really have any time to react to that.
Hold on.
Whoa. Jin?
Jin. What will you do here?
The wheel of fate
Bro. Play Guy's lost it. Play Guy's like, okay.
This
We're gonna channel...
This isn't the dark power or something. It's not like a shadow form or something. But that is a big thing to see Play Guy opt for this switch. Oh my lord, he just fuzzied off of that. What?
Yeah, so we do have different tools as opposed to Ragna. You know, a stronger
Salty, he's in the corner. What does he do different? What does he do different here?
No, well,
what is the different tool right now in this situation? What does he do different?
You have counter assault.
Ragna can do that. Every character has one. Wrong buzzer. Wrong buzzer.
You got a DP. You got two DPs.
Ragna has one DP that's faster than both.
You pray.
You got really good offense, I'm not gonna lie. You got some,
that's
really gross.
That's kind of the point I was making there, though. The big difference between Ragna and Jin is that Jin is way more skewed in that offensive game. And also, we do have some really solid buttons, just like Ragna. You're in the mid-range here. But, you know, it's not gonna matter if you're stuck here in the corner!
That brother got his barrier gauge ripped away from him, counter-assaulted into Carl blocking, and then had to look at this aggravating child punch him in the mouth. This is tough. This is
Toledo,
tough.
I'm reading people. I just read someone compare this to Ryukichi versus Fenrich in the chat. This is not that.
I ain't seen that to even make the comparison, so I will just hope that 3C just looks really fine. Alright, okay, you get it, man.
Okay, TP. Okay, 6A. Alright. Well, hold on.
It could be
I'm holding my breath. 6A. Okay.
The start of something new. And it's feeling, it's not feeling right. 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 Ooh, yeah, we're gonna exit stage right here and move the body bag accordingly, because I'm not gonna lie, actually, you know, that was just a pack watch.
See that reset happen. And then, if Xcal wins again, it's like, okay, let's celebrate a little bit, because Xcal's clean. I'm a big fan of Xcal, whether, you know, it's Carl or not. Just a really strong player, and like you said, I mean, like, that last set was just such a potent display of skill, of execution, of awareness. Really everything you can want in a fighting game player is what Xcal is channeling at this moment.
So now
especially now, as we get this round start looking really good.
He's sandwiched again. Salté, it's happening again, man. Salté, it's happening again.
Guys
Salté.
in the chat, I'm needing y'all to like lift your hands up to the sky. You gotta give them the spear bomb. Guys, lend them your
Christ to Dragon Ball, which to some is still Christ, but that makes sense. Look, man, this is tough. God, I'm just so flustered.
Bro, this is unfair. Ref! Separate them, Ref!
I want to play both of these guys so bad. Maybe I'm gonna run for punishment. I really want to play these guys so bad. They're so good at the video game, man. They're so good.
The sandwich yet again. OG as well, looking scary, but the dive only hit Ada. Oh my. Oh dear. Oh.
We're on an any percent Carl run, parentheses, no deaths. That's what we're doing right now.
Into the super, that's gonna be a perfect. Oh dear.
Yo.
Yes. What's up?
I got nothing, brother. I got nothing.
Please select your
I
character.
I wish I could truly like elaborate the way my mouth was just agape in just confusion and fear of what I'm witnessing. Both of these players are going to Evo, by the way. You might run into this in your bracket, by the way. Have fun.
Dude,
I pray
I'm
for
gonna
you.
be sitting at home in my chair, popcorn in hand, enjoying some Carl beatdown. I do actually want X-Scout to win Evo, by the way. But man, oh no,
Okay,
man.
okay. Whoa. I don't think I've seen a Carl beta burst off of a hard to blockable scenario like that. Now you are dead. There's no resources left on the screen. All the water has dried up. You are in a land no longer of milk and honey. It's just salt and ash. Oh god. This is tough. This is so tough. This feels like watching Melania for the first time and being confused.
Production,
hold on a second.
Say that.
Hold on a second. Wait, this is a good hit. Hold on a second. Oh, I love that.
Okay.
I actually really love that because you really have to.
No, we jumped back into the orb, bro.
He made one mistake. I want you guys to really calculate the fact that he made one mistake in this round, and now this is happening. This is off of one mistake. This is how punishing these players are. This is really how Blazblue gets down at a certain point in time. If he delayed the 3D to guarantee OD instead of burst, he's actually an evil man. I don't know if that was the case, but if he did, that's evil. 6D, he might be able to kill him. No, okay, he's just gonna continue on. But yeah, this is when the going gets tough. This is a man that is not just good at BlazBlue, but again is a like master world-class level Virtua Fighter player. Like this is his second gig. This is his second job.
Not
just
Virtua
clocked
Fighter,
in.
Dead or Alive.
Dead or Alive. DOA. I'm so disrespectful. I apologize greatly, actually. Like genuinely.
Oh, it's the Celica coming out. Oh no, he's
Oh my
desperate.
God.
He's desperate.
I don't think it's desperation. I think genuinely speaking, you have so much time to play with. You have.
It's definitely it's just trying something new here. Might as well, like you said, we have a lot of time to work with. Even if we get the reset, we still have more games to play. So DeMarcus Cousins trying to feel it out with the Celica as well as we get into this next round. We are on resets. Well, not quite reset points yet because we haven't won this round yet. But we are getting there. One more game to go for Scout to reset this bracket. And DeMarcus Cousins looking a lot better. We're also just playing a lot more patient. I don't know if that's really helping or not. But that is giving Xcal time to set up.
Can we get a stat check? Salté, I'm going to ask you a question. It's going to make you a little sadder. How many dive kicks have you seen from DeMarcus Cousins in this set? How many dive kicks?
How many sad?
How many dives have you seen?
None. It's like
the JD is maybe the first dive that we have seen in this entire set.
Playing against Carl just made Bobby not Bobby anymore.
A lot of it is just due to the fact that, well, there's Brio and there's also like Bubble. There's a lot of tools that Carl has available in order to mitigate like heavy spaces. But even in their last set, it's blocked, by the way. And she goes all the way to the screen. So, but even so, like in their last set, like there was still plenty of there were still plenty of dives like that DeMarcus was going for. It was not completely nullified in the way that it's been nullified in this set. that alone, I think, is like actually an incredibly like potent message to just note how much screen presence and like economy xCal is taking in this set alone, and what has already been such a stark difference. This man is in loser's side trying to 3-0 DeMarcus Cousins like it's cool. What?
Yeah, no, it's really just like, it really just goes to show how much is dissuaded DeMarcus Cousins from going for these dive kicks. 60 a 10 right there, that was unfortunate. But yeah, no, it's really just showing how it's dissuading him so much to the point where he's just not going for it any longer. It's not like his previous matchups didn't dissuade him either. Like, you know, Kokonoe can be very scary to dive kick on, right? But
I want you to understand that this man is waiting for DeMarcus Cousins to approach. He is absolutely willing to time out with 50 seconds left on the clock, in spite of this life lead. Look at that. Look at this.
Okay, yeah, Nails.
I want us to all really look at the screen and just understand what's happening here.
I feel like
that's evil behavior. He's blocking all of this, by the way. He has full meter. He doesn't need the IB for meter. He can just do it.
Dude, I was about to call. I was like, jump Nails. Like, he just jumped Nails. It's like, yeah, that's kind of the idea right now. Nails again, just waiting for DeMarcus to take up to the air, trying to put him into that block stun, trying to find a hit. Nails again. Oh no, just not hit there. There it is. Nails coming
wait
through.
A moment. There's the third dive kick maybe, and he's gone, and it's a 3-0. We're on to the reset in, I think it's been 3 minutes, maybe. It might have been 3 minutes.
No,
so
maybe a little bit longer than that, but close. Like 6 minutes, 5 minutes.
6,
which is still quick.
6 is not close, man. What?
Okay.
6 is
5.
double the time. Tell me I'm wrong.
I corrected. I said 5. I corrected. I course corrected.
I love flustering you, dude. Sorry, I gotta do a little bit of trolling. I'm messing.
We're at a reset, guys. xcaliburbladez dragging Marcus Cousins. Telling you to come back down to his level here. You sent me to losers. I'm gonna bring you to losers with me. And what a start!
He genuinely just moved him off of the strength of his power all the way to the right side of the screen and immediately started mixing it. No question about it. Oh, let's get it. I love this.
This is reminding me a lot of like playing against Fugu, where like something clicked in xCal, where it's like this didn't really feel like the same xCal Fugu was playing before. And I can say the same here in Grand Finals. But right now, DeMarcus Cousins is looking a lot better, find some good hits here. But it's just so unfortunate being at that low life pool because of the way that we can, you know, obviously win with just a simple interaction like that. But also the way where we can just like, you know, just find some small chip damage here and there with the doll, you know, whether with a projectile, calling the doll to Carl and using the nails with a clap, you know, catching DeMarcus, you know, not being completely careful. Because as Mai, you want to be playing very aggressive, and sometimes you can't allow yourself to be that careful, be that passive, because that's going to give Carl room to move around.
I agree. I do agree. It's a very difficult thing to do when you're up against like a player this strong, a character this strong. You really do have to just play with no fear in your heart. Like you genuinely just have to get it done. This is not the stuff you're gonna learn from a. That was so cool, dude. Flip, like raw flip to bait out the CA is actually like evil behavior. I love this. We gotta meet evil Volante on the screen. We're good. Volante, yeah, that's gonna be the Kung Fu Oko, and you're gonna get clipped here. 60 for an extension. You have the meter for a CT if he really wants to make it like cook, but he's just gonna keep it simple with the mix-up. It's a 60 that gets it done. Game 1 of the reset is done.
Yeah, a much closer one to any of the games that we just saw before in that previous 3-0 to get that reset. So DeMarcus Cousins definitely not out just yet. xcaliburbladez in the lead, however, and you know, coming back from this lead is going to be definitely quite difficult here as we go into game number 2.
How many rounds is that?
How many rounds?
How many rounds have we lost here right now in this grand finals set, including the reset? How many rounds have we lost?
Probably less than 10.
No, not total. I'm talking literally.
He's lost 1. No, wait. Did DeMarcus Cousins didn't get a round in the last one, right?
We're confused on the number, but it's definitely less than 3, man.
It's less than 2.
Oh, God.
Like, I can say that for sure. Like, The only thing that I'm confused about is like the previous game just flashing before my eyes. Anyways, okay, chat is saying 0.
I need you to understand that this might be the first round DeMarcus Cousins wins. He's actually funny enough, like as much as I'm like, you know, being very dramatic here, DeMarcus is actually playing significantly better, like with time.
Yes.
Like this is the unironically, this is the most like thank God I'm on winner's side here, because you really do get to see like DeMarcus like cool it, adjust, and like fix a couple of things. But like this is a very, very difficult ride. Block throw connects, damn.
Yeah, one thing I really like about Xcal's play too is the way we're also playing with the doll. And by that I mean like, you know, when we're playing in neutral, we're always like spaced out just enough from the doll where you can't kind of 2-for-1 with mine, right? Because like 5C is so big, sometimes you can very well just 2-for-1.
Please reset it.
So yeah, oh my gosh, yeah. And that's why you need burst. That's why you need to burst the character early, because you get put into a situation like that where you just get unlocked.
Back. The gauge just returned. Salté, the gauge just returned.
I know. That's what I'm saying. It's like, man, there's nothing you can do in that position. But, you know, we're going to clean the slate. Yet, once again, we're in round 3. DeMarcus Cousins can very well even things up. Finds a small hit there on Ada, but not enough to disable it as the nails go through.
Tough. 2D immediately in order to lock down Mai as much as possible. No flips, no dimes, no other forms of movement here. 3C. It really does feel like Xcal like now is bringing in a couple of more buttons. Always a new trick in the bag. The new button to place. Like a quick little change in how his offense runs. Volante's coming in. Your offense is actually mine.
You didn't hear it. Oh,
I heard that.
We did hear it.
I heard it loud and clear, big.
Oh, I heard it. But DeMarcus Cousins here did not.
Oh, you meant the royal we. Understood. My apologies. Genuinely my apologies there. Yeah, that's tough. That's really tough, dude. Okay, so guys, it's 2-0 here for xcaliburbladez. If you want to count the first set here, it's 5-0. I need y'all to understand again. Like, this is a person that almost reversed 3-0 DeMarcus Cousins. Popped in, has fried almost everybody here. This is tough. DeMarcus Cousins did beat him before. Now we are looking at the other end of things here. We're now looking at the other end of where DeMarcus Cousins now has to do a reverse 3-0 in order to
DeMarcus Cousins has only won one round. But
this is tough.
We'll see if anything changes here.
Oh
As
my God.
Blazblue, once again, going on yet another rampage here. And I think DeMarcus Cousins might just use that burst a little too late. Like, we've already taken half of our health. You just gotta burst early against Carl. But, you know, we're still not in a terrible position. Right, we're definitely not in a terrible position. But you still gotta be worried about something like that,
CA is
right?
available, however. Let's see if Xcal opts to bait it out. No, it's gonna be the JAs. I wonder if that, like, the timing there just kind of, like, caught out DeMarcus. Jesus. Low ends up ripping the feet here, and this is so difficult. I'm not gonna lie. Xcal now looking at tournament point. This is really, really difficult here. This is do or die position. There's no more room to work with here. You have to just get it done. A whiff burst here is a crazy boon. That's such a good boon here. You can
That is
jump
massive,
over
and I
the
love the
Volante.
awareness there from DeMarcus now. I like the falling JC as well to try and catch Ada from behind as you fall down. Really heads up play from DeMarcus, but unfortunately not able to avoid the subsequent nail follow-up. DeMarcus Cousins going to be finding in the overhead, and that's going to be another big hit, another big opening here for DeMarcus. And once again, Xcal already used that burst early, so we do not have that burst available. RC going to get that pick up. DeMarcus Cousins, I think, should be able to close out with this combo. Yes, with the OD is going to guarantee it. You know, unfortunately, you have to use that resource, but it's like, you know, if you don't spend that resource, then Xcal can always make that comeback. But it does leave you without burst at the start of this round. So the idea is you want to be playing neutral very smart. You want to play passive. You don't want to get caught by Ada. The moment you get put into this corner by Carl and you don't have burst, you're going to be really, really wishing you were somewhere else.
Walks back out of the A dive there. You're forced to take the mix here. cross-up potential. All right, now you got to deal with 2 Dioki. You don't have enough meter for an immediate CA, so you got to work with this. You have to IB just enough to get the meter, but it's going to be the slight delay low that catches on. Burst is going to be available for the next mix-up here. However, Carlo D is also coming up real soon. No bait necessary. Xcal just wants to take it. Double 6C. All right, man.
Don't
This
worry
is so
about
tough.
Ada.
Again, we're here at
Don't worry about Ada's
TNS.
option.
It's been so difficult here. Xcal surprisingly sent into losers right there, but it feels like he's just been so dominant throughout this entire set. The Brio whiffs, DEMARCUS trying to bob and weave, get through everything. It's going to be the EA here, and Xcaliburbladez is going to take the grand final set here. 6-0 versus DEMARCUS Cousins the fourth in a dominant, devastating, dastardly display of power. I don't think I can emphasize it enough. That was wild.